All right, my friends, here we go. Once again, it is now 8:46. We've gotten our first severe thunderstorm warning, and now we do have our another tornado warning for Fentress County. This just coming in from the National Weather Service out of Nashville, Tennessee. We are in the Nashville's radar right now, so I want to keep everyone up to date. Obviously, it's getting dark out now. This is when it becomes a little bit more serious, a little bit more dangerous. We've got a lot more wet weather on the way, a lot of rain on the way as well. So let's get to work with the tornado warning that's coming in now from the Nashville area for Cumberland County, for Fentress County. We've got a tornado warning right now for Fentress County. And so this is what we've been talking about. We had a nice little break in the activity for a little bit after this morning's storms, and now we've got a tornado warning. So we've been watching these storms coming out of Middle Tennessee, and I'll tell you what, they were packing a punch. A very large wedge tornado just outside of Columbia, Tennessee, and it was on the ground for a very, very long time. Very destructive storm. Now, this storm system out of Fentress County is coming in with a BTI of 2.7. That's on the lower end. Severe hail, about 30%. Hail, 100% chance of hail. And this storm is moving to the east at 33 miles per hour. Hail possibly upwards of 3/4 inch in diameter. So as we dive into the details on this storm system right now, there are the dates or the times for folks joining us from the plateau. So we've got Anderson right now. Obviously, it's over Anderson as we speak. We've got Mineral Springs, Lovejoy, Obey City at 8:55, Muddy Pond at 9:01, Elmore at 9:04, Plateau at 9:04, Campground 9:06, and Rennie at 9:08. And so we are going to continue to track these storms for the rest of the evening and overnight hours. A lot of you have been asking questions on social media. When are these storms going to come? Is it going to weaken as it moves its way in here? I will tell you that the atmosphere is still primed. Even though we're now starting to lose that daytime heating, the atmosphere is still primed because we've got a very powerful jet stream swinging its way into the area, and the atmosphere is very, very unstable. Now, where I think that we'll see some quieter weather conditions are where we saw the storms earlier this morning. And that would be from, say, Hamblin County across the northern plateau, upper East Tennessee. Less likely, probably, to see the extent of the activity that we saw this morning, but definitely something that we are going to continue to highlight and monitor for the rest of the evening. So don't let your guard down. Now, I know a lot of you are getting off, maybe just finishing up dinner. So if you're joining us from the Cumberland Plateau, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings and, again, a tornado warning right now. This is just to the south of Jamestown, to the south of Jamestown. So this storm is getting ready to cross over Highway 127. It's over Anderson right now. It's working its way towards Clark Range, Campground, Elmore, Bowman, and Parker Ford. So if you're in these areas, you need to take shelter immediately. You need to head off to your safe zone, your safe spot anyways. And again, the BTI now has jumped up to a 2.8. So that is a sign of a strengthening storm that's going to continue to work its way across the Cumberland Plateau. So we do have rotation showing up with this right now. Let's see. We got quite a bit of rotation showing up with this, and this is where the storm would be. We are talking about the storm right over the Hillwood Estates and Mineral Springs. And so really this is what we're going to concentrate on. So this area right here, so Bonsack, Hanging Limb, Mineral Springs, Hillwood Estates, again, Elmore, Plateau, Campground. If these any of these names you recognize, you need to take cover immediately. Head to your safe spot, take your emergency kit with you, and make sure you take the East Tennessee Weather app with you, whether you're joining me on Facebook and social media. And again, we are on all platforms at this hour. All platforms at this hour right now. So make sure you text folks that may be in the path of this storm system and say, hey, listen, heads up. If you didn't get the alert, well, we do have a tornado warning. Again, this tornado warning is running until 9:15 Eastern Daylight Time. 9:15 Eastern Daylight Time. Obviously, the plateau is Central Daylight Time. So that would be 8:15 Central Daylight Time for you folks joining us from the Cumberland Plateau. So this is, again, one of the situations that we've been talking about all day today, on how these storms are going to evolve, and we can't let our guards down. When you look at this whole system, the whole system alone, look at all these storms coming in out of Middle Tennessee, and this is going to be the threat that we've been talking about, the second round of energy. Now, we also, if you were with me earlier, I said we were looking for the possibility of some discrete cells coming in out of the south and southwest, out ahead of this system. We didn't quite see that during the afternoon. We saw quite a bit of sunshine, helping to destabilize the atmosphere. And again, That's going to help to drive some of these thunderstorms as we head through the rest of our evening. Now, while we do lose a little bit of that instability, we have so many other parameters in the atmosphere to work with. And so we do have tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings up and down this line from the Cumberland Plateau, stretching down just through McMinnville, north of Tullahoma, and also back closer to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, where they were talking about a tornado warning. If you joined me on social media, you saw me post Tennessee Valley weather as they were tracking a very large wedge tornado out of Columbia, Tennessee. We also have some storms coming in out of the south, out ahead of it. So let me loop this to give you an idea of the motion. This is going to be a 1 hour loop. Okay, 1 hour loop. And so you'll see how these storms, let me get rid of some of this stuff for you. And there we go. Got rid of that. So this is the motion of the storms, okay? So for you folks on the plateau, Campbell County, Scott County, while we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings there right now, most of the warnings are to our south. I think that's where we're going to have the majority of our activity. I would say in a location basically from Cumberland County south through Knox County. This is going to be the area that we're going to be concentrating on for the rest of the evening for the greatest severe weather potential. So anybody in that path that I just circled has a pretty big risk for seeing severe thunderstorms and the possibility of isolated tornadoes. So this is the area that you need to be staying on top of the weather situation. You need to be tracking it. And we're going to keep you up to date on how this all plays out for the rest of the evening hours. So again, if you're having issues on certain platforms, just come over to Facebook, either come over to YouTube, go to the East Tennessee Weather app. I'll be broadcasting there as well. So, all right, so let's dive into the details. We know that we've got some powerful storms already working their way into the area. We have that tornado warning. Even up into Kentucky, we have some elevated or stronger thunderstorms as well. But the strongest storm at hand right now is moving its way across southern Fentress County, northern Cumberland County. So I was talking to some folks over in Cumberland County. They're like, how much longer do I have? And that was about an hour or two ago. And here we go. So the storms are starting to fire up and work their way. So this is going to work its way right over Highway 127. If you live on Highway 127 from Crossville up towards, say, Jamestown or Allert area, you need to take cover immediately. You need to head to your safe zone, your safe shelter area, and you need to take cover. Remember, a mobile home. I've answered plenty of questions on social media throughout the day today, talking about, hey, listen, I live in a mobile home. I live in a manufactured home. I live in an apartment. Where do I go? What do I do? So we're walking people through what to do in those situations. Listen, if you live in a mobile home or a manufactured home, we are still talking about severe weather moving its way on into the area for the rest of the evening hours. I would go find yourself a safe spot, a sturdy building to kind of hunker down in, because this is really what we're going to be talking about. All right, there we go. We just got some base relative velocity on this one. And so we've got some spinning motion right over the Hillwood Estates area. So we're talking right along Highway 24. This would be Highway 24, Interstate 4. See if I can get my interstates right. That would be Interstate 40. So this is moving right over Interstate 40. So Crossville, if you're joining us from Crossville and 80 communities around the Crossville area, you need to take shelter immediately as well. But again, we do have a tornado warning that runs until 9:15 Eastern Daylight Time. That would be 8:15 Central Time Zone. We have severe thunderstorm warnings right now for Cumberland County that runs until 8:15 Central Daylight Time. That stretches all the way down. Look how far ahead of this storm system that the National Weather Service is issuing these warnings. So far ahead of the storm because it is packing a punch. So Spring City, Dayton, Dunlap, these are all areas of concern as we head through the rest of our evening. And let's see what the National Weather Service says about any of this. So let's see what the Morristown says. Let's see what the Morristown office is saying. Of course, right now, most of this is out of the Nashville office. So the Cumberland Plateau, all the information comes out of the Nashville office, and that's what we're experiencing right now. Let's see. So Monterey Police reporting rotation near the intersection of Putman and Overton Fentress County lines. So Monterey Police are reporting rotation, so they're already seeing that rotation. Even further to our south, so folks along the southern Cumberland Plateau, we've got a very powerful storm system just to the south of McMinnville, and this is one that we're going to have to watch closely as it continues to move its way into that favorable environment. And that's is going to be the story for the rest of the night. Not to mention with the powerful storms that are coming on through now, and then we'll see another round possibly with maybe some severe, but looking likely it's going to turn into a very heavy rain event during the overnight hours. And these showers, I mean, again, this is going to be an all overnight storm. From now through maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, we have the risk for severe. Back behind that, maybe just some locally heavy rainfall, leading to the possibility, or increasing, I should say, the threat for flooding and flash flooding. All right, so let's talk about some highways. We got Highway 127. That's going to be the main path right now. So from Monterey to Crossville along Interstate 40. So Crab Orchard, you need to head off to your safe spot because we've got severe weather just off to your west and northwest. And when you look at the velocity products out of this, we do have quite a bit of rotation now showing up with that storm from Hillwood Estates to Mayland, right along or just to the south of Interstate 40. That's where we're looking right now, okay? So what we're talking about is this area right here, okay? Right along Interstate 40 and south of Monterey, north of Pleasant Hill. So if you're joining us from Pleasant Hill in Cumberland County, and again, Crossville, you folks need to take cover immediately and head off to your safe spot. We will continue to track this through the overnight hours. So again, I know some of you are saying, I'm going to sleep with one eye open tonight, Laura. So if you have questions, I'll try to answer as many questions as I can because this is going to be kind of a question and answer severe weather event as we head through the nighttime hours. I'll try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Some folks are saying, hey, do you think this is going to affect Hardin Valley, Karnes area? I think everybody in East Tennessee is going to be under the threat for severe weather from here on out. So when you look at the skits from the National Weather Service, we got a BTI of 2.7 out of that storm. A hail size about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. The wind shear is very, very strong, 69 miles per hour. Severe, it is a severe storm, and it's tracking to the east at 48 miles per hour. So it is racing along. Here are some areas that need to be paying close attention to. We've got Mayland at 901, so pretty much on top of you right now. So you need to be in your safe zone right now, your safe shelter space. Pleasant Hill, Creston, Crossville. It's going to be moving its way into North Crossville Edition at about 9:13. And it is now just 8:59. So again, 8:58, 8:59. So Drowning Creek 905, Plateau 907, Elmore 910, Woody 910, Creston 912, Tabor at 913, North Crossville Edition, so Crossville area, North Crossville 914, Bowman at 914, and Lake Genesis Country anyways at 915. So this is really going to be packing a punch here, and let's see if we have. Let's see here. So our shear product is our shear product. Let me see if the Weather Service out of Morristown is picking up on this a little bit better because we have to switch. You got to realize that the Cumberland Plateau is in between radars. And so that's really a tough spot because that radar beam is hitting way up in the clouds. So a lot of this rotation may be showing up a little bit higher in the clouds, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have a tornado necessarily reaching the surface or a funnel cloud. And again, those warnings continue all the way to the south along this line from McMinnville down through Tullahoma and back into southern Middle Tennessee. So when you look at the shear product, we've got a lot of shear. We've got a lot of spin in the atmosphere. And that's the atmosphere and that's the environment that we've been talking about that these storms are going to move into, a very favorable environment that will continue to spawn off the possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms. Now, these are starting to line up a little bit. And so that's going to create a little bit of troublesome trying to see these because it's nighttime and we'll get little undulations inside this line. This is what we were talking about this morning and for the last couple of days, how this line is going to really line up and we'll get we'll get spin-ups, we'll get tornadoes embedded in this main line. So as it comes into East Tennessee, we'll get a better grip on it with the Morristown radar. Right now we're on the Nashville radar. But we also have storms down to our south, just to the south of the Chattanooga community. And so that's really going to be the story. And let's see. So there's no, so back in Livingston area, Putnam County, we're doing fine. So the storm's already passed there. Basically, it's south of Jamestown along Highway 127. So next in line would be places like Huntsville, Sunbright, Wartburg along Highway 27. You come down the line as this moves its way further south. You got Harriman, Kingston, Crossville, Spring City, Pikeville, Dayton, Decatur, Kingston. We have Dunlap, all in the path of these storms. We have a tornado warning just to the west of McMinnville right now, but a very strong storm with a BTI of a 6.1 right now on the storm, just moving its way just to the south of McMinnville. So Pikeville and Dunlap, you would be next in line to see this storm. Now, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for this location for Sequatchie County, for Hamilton County, and Ray County, as well as Bledsoe County. So severe thunderstorm warnings there. We also have, of course, severe thunderstorm warnings for Crossville community. But the storm at hand right now is the one just south of Jamestown, moving its way right over Highway 127. So once again, we'll go back to the shear product to look at the spin in the atmosphere, get a better idea with velocity. We've got a lot of spin in the atmosphere. A lot of spin, a lot of shear in the atmosphere. And that's what's going to cause these storms to possibly spin up to create tornadoes. So I know a lot of you are going to want to go to bed here soon. I mean, it's 9 o'clock at night, but I will start calling counties out and cities out once it moves past you and the severe weather risk starts to fade for your area to let you know that, hey, listen, it's okay to go to bed now. But right now, I would stay on top of this situation, track it with us, have this on in the background while you're brushing your teeth, while you're getting the kids off to bed, while you're cleaning up the kitchen. Just make sure you have this on in the background. Remember, I'm on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube. I'm on the East Tennessee Weather app as well as easttnweather.com. And you can join me, of course, on all social media platforms. And a lot of you are probably joining on social media here at this hour. So we got a lot of folks joining on all the East Tennessee Weather pages right now, from Twitter to the East Tennessee Weather YouTube account, Facebook, both East Tennessee Weather and also Mike Witcher TV. So thank you very much for coming to me to track these storms for the evening hours. Again, this is really going to be a concern as these move their way to the south and southeast. Let's see what the National Weather Service in Morristown's saying. They're not saying anything yet. National Weather Service out of Nashville. The other side of the story is we're going to continue to see flooding and the possibility of flash flood warnings associated with this. So let's go ahead and loop this for you. Get an idea of the direction. Let's just do a 30-minute loop. And you can see how these are going to be moving to the east and southeast. And again, from Cumberland County through Knox, Blount County, I think we have the greatest risk there and further south for the rest of the evening. If you're just now tuning in, basically I'm going to go from here down to here. This is all the area of concern for the rest of the evening as these storms come through. But I don't necessarily know that this is going to be the say-all be-all, because we still have a lot of activity back to our north and west, where we do have some severe thunderstorm warnings up towards Hopkinsville, and as this low tracks its way up into the Great Lakes in the Ohio Valley, northern Kentucky, this cold front and all this energy is going to be moving its way into our area. So we do have flash flood warnings right now for Cumberland County. This runs until 11:30 tonight, a flash flood warning right now. Also for Cumberland County, and you are just now getting some of the heaviest rainfall. When you look at the rainfall product out of this, the rainfall rates are just incredible. Let's see if we can get the rainfall rates up. That would not be rainfall rates. That would be correlation coefficient, but we'll get back to that here in just a moment. And all right, 1801 Prospect Road in Giles County. Don't need to worry about that. We're not in Giles County, but we do have severe weather obviously showing up in Middle Tennessee. So not much going on in the chat. If you have any information on your end, if you're joining us from Cumberland County, Fentress County, if you're joining us just along the Cumberland Plateau, if you have any questions, please fire away. Let's see. Any questions out there? I'll try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. I think places like Granger County, Hamblen County, Jefferson County, Upper East Tennessee, probably will see the less severe weather threat, but I still wouldn't let your guard down as you head off to bed, as we still have a lot of energy. But the storms that we had this morning from Granger to Claiborne, Hamblin, into Greene County, it kind of worked over the atmosphere a little bit. So I do anticipate a little bit less severity as it moves its way to the south and southeast, but the entire region is still under, most of the region, I should say, is still under a level 3 risk by the Storm Prediction Center. We still have that big tornado threat that's going to extend all the way down into the Western Valley. The hail risk is still there, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as severe as what it was earlier this morning as those storms move their way to the south and east. Let's see here. So that tornado warning is going to last for about another 8 more minutes. And then beyond that, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Sunbright in Morgan County and Wartburg. So I know folks joining us from Morgan County, ears up and on alert here because of the storm that produced a tornado in Sunbright earlier this year. So you listen, we're going to walk you through this storm as it continues to work its way to the south and east. I'm in Cumberland County, says Rebecca. Let me make that a little bit bigger. We can throw the chat up there so I can try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. I'm in Cumberland County, severe thunder and lightning and rain right now. Thank you very much, Rebecca. I appreciate that. Heavy rain also moving. That's really going to be the story. So hopefully, a lot of folks are off the roads now, which is good. At least this isn't coming through during the evening commute, but definitely going to create a mess. And so it's nice that we have a lot of folks off the road, but folks still travel between Knoxville and Nashville on Interstate 40 all the time and all day long. And so if you know anybody that drives a semi truck for business or for work, something to keep in mind. Let's see here. Thundering in Mossy Grove right now. Is there any debris showing on the radar? Tornado warning area in Cumberland County. Let's take a look at that. So we'll look at the velocity scan. We still have quite a bit of rotation. So if you're joining us from Crossville, Cumberland County, Creston area, let's go ahead and highlight some cities that are in the path of this storm right now. So we've got Pomona Road, 9:13. This is Eastern Daylight Time, so just subtract an hour for you folks on the plateau. So this will be 8:13. Drowning Creek at 8:13. Baker Crossroads at 8:16. Creston at 9:19, Howard Springs at 8:21, Tabor at 8:21, north of Crossville again about 8:22. But this has rotation on the storm, and so you definitely need to be taking shelter, get out, find a safe spot. Again, if you're in a mobile home, we are watching this. Let's see here. Let's get back to a different product. All right, let's look at the shear on this. So we do have quite a bit of shear. So this is the area that we're watching closely. That's moving its way to North Crossville, Baker Crossroads, Crossville, Foxfire. So if anybody's joining us from those areas, you probably need to go to a safe zone and take your emergency kit with you with the East Tennessee Weather app and your cell phone. The BTI on this right now is a 2.7, so that's good that it's kind of quieted down a little bit. But a new tornado warning has been issued now, so that does include new tornado warning right now, does include Cumberland County until 9:45. So we only had Fentress County, now we have Cumberland County. So the folks in this tornado warning in Cumberland County would be Cherry Branch, Baker Crossroads, North Crossville, Bowman, Linger Lake, Peavine, Berkshire Forest, all within that as well. We have some of the roads, so Slate Springs, Catoosa Canyon, Catoosa Country, Linger Lake, and Oak Hill. You all need to be taking cover immediately. If you live in those areas, Oak Hill as well, Cherry Branch and Woodlands, Pineville, and Druid Hills, Berkshire. So some of these are going to be neighborhoods. Some of these are small communities. But this is where we're going to be watching very closely as we have a tornado warning for this area right now. So when you look at the radar, we have a lot of spin in the atmosphere, and this is what's going to be working its way on through. New tornado warning has been issued for Cumberland County. Let's see. We also have Giles County tornado warning still going on near Elkton. It comes from the National Weather Service out of Nashville. Let's get the information on this. Let's see. Tornadic thunderstorm will remain mainly over rural areas of northern Cumberland and southwestern Fentress counties, including the following locations: Slate Springs and Clark Range. That includes Interstate 40 between mile markers 311 and 319, if you happen to know your mile markers. This is the time to take cover, move to your basement, the interior room, or the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Okay, so once again, remember when we have the tornado watch, we talked about this earlier today. If you have a tornado watch, that's the time to prepare. Now we have tornado warnings, so now it's time to take cover and move to the. Let me get that back on here. Let's see here. Anyways, Rebecca, hopefully I answered your question there. Brian Barger is joining us. How's Madisonville looking for severity of storms? Just concerned family and friends there. Hey, Brian, so I do think that we do have a chance for severe storms that are going to move through Madisonville. So anybody south of Interstate 40, south of Knoxville, along 75, has a good solid risk for seeing severe storms tonight. So if you have folks that live in the Southern Valley, south of Interstate 40, make sure you give them a heads up and let them know that we do have severe storms moving into the area, moving off the Cumberland Plateau. They are racing right along. Again, this storm is racing to the east-southeast at 33 miles per hour. It also still has a BTI of about a 2.5. And this is going to be the situation for the evening hours. Is it a tornado watch or warning for Knoxville? Knoxville's under a tornado watch. So Knoxville's under a tornado watch. Let's get the... I'll get that up for you here in just a moment. So when you look at the watches, there's the information from the Storm Prediction Center as we continue to highlight the severity of these storms for the evening hours. I'll get that tornado watch up for folks so they can understand what's going on. But right now we do need to concentrate on the storms that do have tornado warnings. Again, south of Allert and south of Fentress County or south of Jamestown. The strongest part of the cell right now is going to be moving its way through Bowman and Tabor, Oak Hill, Berkshire Forest. That's the one that we're going to be watching here for the next short while. This tornado warning goes until 8:45, so another 32 minutes right now. It's 9:13, excuse me. Well, 8:13, so 8:45 is when that's going to go till. So we're going to continue to stay on this as we continue to track in. So the tornado watch, we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a moment. So with that said, let me go ahead and load that up here for a second. Just give me one moment, folks. We'll get that back up and running here in just a moment. And I'll get that radar back up in just 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. So here's the tornado watch, okay? So folks can understand. So we've got Campbell County all the way through Knox County, Blount County, and further to the south. That tornado watch runs until midnight tonight. Tornado watch until midnight tonight. And so it's only 9:13. And again, we haven't had an event like this for quite some time. All right, now we have another tornado warning for Bledsoe County. This runs until 8:45. So Bledsoe County, places like we were talking about Dunlap and Pikeville, Dayton and Graysville, joining us from the southern Cumberland Plateau. This is the one that we need to watch for closely. We have a BTI now of a 5.9 on this storm. And these storms coming in out of Middle Tennessee are the ones that are really, really strong. Yep, yeah, there we go. All right, so let's talk about this one for a second because we've got a lot more activity on this one. So 9:45, Sequatchie County under a tornado warning. Bledsoe County. And so this is where we need to concentrate on this cell. We've got the rotation showing up right here. So right just to the north of Beersheba Springs, Cagle, Bresci Creek, Palo, Brockdale, and Brush Creek, Hendon, and Flat Top. You all need to be in your safe spot right now. Head to your shelters immediately. Take your cell phones with you. Hopefully you charged everything during the day today. So you were able to watch and see how this is all playing out. But we've got a lot of rotation on with that. Let's take a look at the shear product on that. And yeah, this is whenever you start to see a little bit of an S shape with that shear product, see a little bit of an S shape taking place, that is a serious storm. And when you look at those circles, those are indications of rotation in the atmosphere. Those are all base velocity products right now, but we will continue to see these. These are supercell thunderstorms. These are not individual cells anymore. These are cells that are now starting to line up. And so now we're going to start getting damaging winds associated with that because you'll get Boeing segments associated with a line of severe storms. So let's go back here. So we're going to get Boeing segments with that, and that is going to create damaging wind gusts. So this is the storm that's moving its way through Dill, Cagle, Paleo, Mount Airy, Brush Creek, Hendon, Brayton, and Flat Top. I know a lot of you are joining us from all over East Tennessee, and right now we're just concentrated on the storms that are moving across the Cumberland Plateau. But as they progress their way to the south and southeast, we will stay on this the entire time. Let's see here. All right, so now we got a BTI of 5.9. It's moving to the northeast, but not really to the northeast. All these storms are moving to the southeast, but these are little skits associated with information coming in from the Doppler radar, how the storm's progressing, how it's moving. The general rule of thumb is this is going to work its way to the south and southeast. So don't be fooled by those skits just because they may be pointing northward. Just means the storm may be kind of veering a little bit on the left side, which is good. We don't want right movers. Right movers are not good. This is, but the general idea is this is moving to the south and southeast. So Spring City, Dayton, Ray, Meigs County. You need to Ray. So we have severe thunderstorm warnings right now for Ray and Meigs. But again, the tornado warning for Bledsoe and Sequatchie counties at this hour. If you're joining us from there, you need to definitely head to a safe spot immediately. We've got more severe weather back to our west and southwest, so we're going to be watching this entire system. And this is the entire system that's going to swing its way to the south and southeast. So again, anybody south of Interstate 40, along and south of Interstate 40, where we do have that tornado watch, that's where we need to be paying attention to and tracking this. Now, again, you can always make sure you have those push notifications. If you want to head off to bed, say you're in Maryville or Knoxville or Athens, and you're just trying to get everything done for the evening to get ready for work tomorrow, just have this playing in the background, whether it's on Roku TV or Amazon Fire, or of course your cell phone through the app or YouTube, because we're going to stay on these storms through the entire event. Getting a little hot in here. All right. So we've got lots of activity. Let's see what the National Weather Service is saying now. Okay, so let's see. Let's see here. Morristown issues tornado warning for Bledsoe and Sequatchie County. So they're the ones who are now we're starting to get into the Morristown National Weather Service area. Out of Middle Tennessee, Nashville runs these products, but once they start moving into East Tennessee, Knoxville's severe thunder, Nashville's, see if I can get my words out. It's been a long day. Knoxville's, Morristown's, National Weather Service will start issuing these warnings. So tornado warning and hail up to 2 inches in diameter. So we are still talking about the possibility of some very large hail out of some of these storms. When you start to see those purples showing up in the storms, that's where you're going to start to see some of those hail cores. And again, some of the hail possibly out of this could be 3/4 of an inch in diameter, but up to 2 inches in diameter. All right, so Wartburg, you're going to be next in line. So Wartburg, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning along with Catoosa. We've got Obed Junction, if you know that where that area is, Pine Orchard, Deermont, Harriman, you're just outside of it, but this is going to be working its way into your area. And then next in line would be Fork Mountain, Peach Ross area as it continues to slide its way further to the east. Sunbright, let's talk about Sunbright for a second. You're currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. No tornado warning for you. Okay, but we still have those storms moving on into your area. So we are going to continue to see this activity pick up. We've got a lot of lightning. And when you look at lightning data, lightning always is a good indication if a storm is strengthening or weakening. So when you look over the last 15 minutes, look at the lightning product. So when you look at this storm right here, is the lightning increasing or decreasing? You can see how it kind of ramped up to about 87 lightning strikes for a short time. Then it starts to come on down. But whenever lightning starts to increase, that's a sign of tornado genesis, as a sign of a strengthening storm system, of a storm itself. And so we have to watch that lightning data to see if it's increasing in strength or decreasing in strength. But that's the general rule. So Crossville right now, you are currently Crossville, Fairfield, Crab Orchard, Lake Tansy, not under a tornado warning right now. But Berkshire, Creston, Bowman, Alpine Acres is currently under that tornado warning. So now we're starting to get outside of the radar in Morristown. So let's come over to the National Weather Service's the Morristown's radar, and so that's going to start to pick up a little bit more. We do have a flash flood warning also in effect for Cumberland County. So flash flood warning, we've already seen a lot of rain in this area, and the heavy rain is going to continue. The rainfall rates out of this system, rainfall rates are incredible. Let's go back to that. I'll get rainfall rates coming up in just a moment. Let's see. All right, when you look at a certain product, this is the Barron button. This will give us a good indication. So Cumberland County, now we have... So Cumberland County, we're talking winds greater than 70, right around 70 miles per hour possible. So when you see that little red area, so now we've got the hail core to the north from Creston to Bowman and Alpine Acres. We've got very strong winds moving into Cumberland County with some shear and spin in the atmosphere. When you look at the velocity product, this is really, really, I mean, these storms are just moving into a very, very favorable environment. And all of East Tennessee is going to be underneath that favorable environment as well. Let me fix that. So we've got rotation showing up right around Crossville. So I would even say Crossville, Crab Orchard, Rockwood. I would pay attention, maybe take shelter. You're not under a warning right now. Highway 127 is currently underneath that tornado warning. We also have the Linger Lake area, Oak Hill. And so that's where we're getting the majority of our rotation is coming in from into Cumberland County, and so Cumberland County underneath that tornado warning until 8:45, so about another 20 minutes or so. So we also have a severe thunderstorm warning right now showing up for Morgan and Scott County. The National Weather Service saying this is all radar indicated, could see 60 mile per hour winds or quarter-size hail. Hail damage to vehicles is expected with some of these, as we could see, anything larger than the size of a quarter or larger indicates damaging. So we're talking Wartburg, Sunbright, Oakdale, High Point, Coalfield, Deer Lodge, Elgin, Frozen Head State Park, Slick Rock, and Petros, all within that severe thunderstorm warning. But a tornado watch remains in effect until midnight for East Tennessee. We highlighted that. We showed you what that looked like. So remain alert for a possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop very, very quickly in this kind of an environment. If you spot a tornado, go at once into a basement or small central area of your sturdy building, a sturdy structure. I know some of this area is pretty rural up on the Cumberland Plateau, but it is moving into cities and environment and communities and neighborhoods. There's a lot of neighborhoods and communities in beautiful part of Cumberland County, which is currently under a tornado warning. We also have that tornado warning that seems to be a little bit stronger, BTI of 7. So if you're joining us from Dunlap, Pikeville, Hitchcock, we've got Brockdale, Palo, Hendon, Cagle. We've got very strong rotation with this system. So again, just so you know what we're looking at, this is your rotation. This is the rotating part of the supercell thunderstorm. So you've got red is away from the radar. Green is towards the radar. We're using the National Weather Service radar in Morristown. And so you have to know exactly where your radar is to understand where these colors are and where the spin is located. But BTI of 7, we're talking severe hail, 70%, upwards of 1.5 inches in diameter. So we're talking about ping pong up to maybe even golf ball size hail in some locations. We've already seen that today. We saw that up into Hambling County and parts of Granger County. So Hitchcock, I've got the times right there. Those times will constantly change as the storm progresses its way further to the north. So Old Cumberland at 9:35, it is now 9:24, 8:35, so 8:24 until it moves its way into the eastern time zone. Lee Station at 8:46, Tip Top at 8:51, Smithtown at 8:52, and Weston also at 8:52. This is a very, very strong cell. Oops. And there's your shear product. Let me get rid of some of this stuff for you, and then you can get an idea of what we're talking about. There's your shear product. So whenever you start to see This right here, this green show up. That's a product with the Barron weather system. The BTI is a Barron tornado index that gives us an idea of the higher that number is, anything past 2, 3, or 4, and we've got a 5.7 on this one. Anything past 2, 3, or 4, and no, it's 7.6, is very high. And so folks in the path of this tornado warning need to be on the lookout and need to be heading to shelter immediately. I'm just trying to read some chat while that's on the screen. I've got to get some information, so bear with me. Yeah, I mean, Zach, I mean, it is. I mean, you know, a little bit of a different situation than what we saw back in 2011, but this is a tornado outbreak. You know, when we were under, you know, a level 2 and a level 3 risk by the Storm Prediction Center 3 days out, we know it's going to be a tornado outbreak. There's no doubt about that. We've seen that from Middle Tennessee up across much of the region. So you can see this line all the way from southeastern Kentucky. Southeastern Kentucky, this line is moving. All this is going to be moving this direction to the south and southeast. This was that second line that we were talking about. The first line was, intense. Then we saw the breaks. We saw some sunshine. The second round is going to be diving its way to the south and east. So everybody in East Tennessee is likely to get some sort of activity before the night is over, because because that whole line is moving to the southeast. When you loop that over the last 30 minutes, you can see how the progression of this storm is moving its way east and southeasterly. So generally speaking, easterly, southeasterly with this, and that's why we need to watch it closely for the rest of the evening. If anybody has any information, if anybody hears of anything, please fire away. Let me know on chat. I will try to answer questions. I will try to get all the information out as best I can. So everybody in East Tennessee, basically anybody under the tornado watch, is under the risk for severe weather for the rest of the evening. This run, the tornado watch runs until midnight tonight. I'm starting to hear thunder here at the studio as well. So Cassie, she says, BTI, is that part of the new tools to gauge tornadoes over the last 25 years since the Twister film? No, it's actually a product through the Barron Weather computer system that I use. And so that is a product solely to the computer system that I currently use. If you don't have that system, you won't get that. We'll be talking about all the other counties as it starts to move its way on in. No, you're not, Heather. I'll be there. Listen, I think, the general idea, the general consensus is that the atmosphere got worked over a little bit more, Jefferson, Hambling, Granger County. But we still have some storms that are firing up there that could be severe. Currently, we do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings for that area. But as this progresses eastward, we'll see what that atmosphere did. Did it get worked over too much from this morning's storms? All right, we got to come back to this storm. Let's bring it down here. Let's see what kind of BTIs we got on this. 7.6, 7.6. All right. So obviously the storm's not necessarily moving to the east, northeast. It's moving to the south and southeast. So let's go ahead and track this for you. We'll just take the leading edge of the storm. It is tracking at 33 miles per hour. So there's the leading edge of that storm, 33 miles per hour. All right, there are your times, my friends. From that tornado warning storm that's moving its way through Sequatchie and Bledsoe County. Sequatchie and Bledsoe County. Where'd my thing go? All right, so Lee Station, you need to take shelter in these locations. Brush Creek at 9:33. We've got Brayton at 9:40, Elm Hill at 9:40, Laurel Brook at 9:45, and Monteague at 9:49. We now have a severe thunderstorm warning for Marion County. Remember, I cover all of East Tennessee, so we're going to cover all of East Tennessee. There's your severe thunderstorm warning for Marion County. That runs until 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time. And now we have severe thunderstorm warnings for Ray, Hamilton, Bledsoe, Sequatchie, just south of the tornado warning. But of course, Sequatchie and Bledsoe are currently underneath that tornado warning. Check on that tornado warning to our north. Tornado warning continues right now for Cumberland County until 9:45 Eastern Daylight Time, my friends. Eastern Daylight Time. It's now 9:31. We'll take a look at the BTI. We'll take a look at the shear product with that. So as it gets a little bit closer to the radar, Morristown, we'll get a little better data. But we have quite a bit of shear showing up, and when you start to get a little bit of an S shape with that shear product, that is. Let me take off that the flood. Let me take off the flood. Kind of clean things up a little bit. That was kind of making things not so clean. Definitely agree, Zachary. Not here locally, but we definitely had a wedge tornado out of Columbia, Tennessee earlier today. I was tracking that with my good friends over at Tennessee Valley Weather. It's always better to be safe than sorry. I think it's 9:30. I think that we'll probably see improving conditions here. I mean, probably till midnight or so. I mean, that's when that tornado watch goes until. We have a tornado watch until midnight tonight. So when you look at the watch, there is the current watch. It stretches all the way back to our west and northwest because we still have a lot more activity before the night is over. All right, we got to come down this storm. All right, so Dunlap, Dayton, Pikeville, Decatur, Graysville. You need to take shelter. We've got a BTI of a 7.7 now on that storm. For Bledsoe County. You take off the tornado watch because you can't see anything with that. Hold on, Eli. I'll get to you here in just a second, buddy. So we do have some Witcher's Weather Watchers, by the way. Got Eli Bray joining us from near the Kingsport area up in the Upper East Tennessee. He'll be hopefully joining here soon. Maybe he's got some, maybe do you have some video? Let's see what he's got. All right, so that's Eli's camera right there. I'll just leave that up on the screen. So that's a live camera. That's live view. You can see the lightning showing up. Eli is joining us from Upper East Tennessee, and you can see all the lightning showing. He's joining us from Churchill. And so on the bottom left-hand side of the screen is video coming in from Churchill. If anybody else, part of the Witcher's Weather Watchers, has a view of the lightning, wants to put a camera outside, we'll throw that up on the screen. so folks can see what's going on. Obviously, it's nighttime, so we're not going to be able to see a whole lot except the lightning, but we are going to see a lot of lightning. We've got 143 lightning strikes right now in this vantage point. We've got incredible amounts of rain, so we've got a stronger storm system right now moving its way through Campbell County. So this has a BTI of 2.4. Severe hail, about a 20%, but hail 90%. It's traveling to the east at 47 miles per hour. Hail could be about half an inch in diameter. You can see the cities right there on your screen. Places like White Oak, Clairfield, Marion, all in the path of that storm. Coming in out of Campbell County, moving its way into Claiborne, and also eventually into Hawkins and Hancock County in Upper East Tennessee. Eli, I appreciate you getting that camera for me, man. Heavy rain right now along Highway 27 from Oneida through Huntsville, stretching all the way down to Sunbright. Sunbright, again, currently under severe thunderstorm warning. There's your severe thunderstorm warning right there, folks. So we do have Oak Hill, Wartburg, Catoosa, Grove, Piney. BTI of now 2.4. Let's get rid of that. That's right along Highway 27, stretching down toward the Oakdale area. And we still have a tornado warning for Cumberland County till 9:45 for about another 10 more minutes or so, but it looks like we are starting to see improving conditions for Cumberland County as it works its way towards Morgan County. So currently Morgan County, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning, no tornado warning. Current tornado warning is right there at Berkshire, Forest, Rogers. Got a lot of spin in the atmosphere. Not necessarily super organized right now, but there it is. That's what we need to watch that too. So we're going to be watching for spin in the atmosphere to see what these storms do. And that's the thing. Some of these storms, when they line up like this, a lot of times these tornadoes will be rain wrapped. So when you look at the actual radar product, you're not going to see the classic hook echoes like we saw this morning for Upper East Tennessee, for the Hamlin County, Granger County area. We're not going to see that. Those were classic supercells, like textbook supercells. The ones out of Middle Tennessee, those were textbook supercells coming in out of Middle Tennessee earlier this evening. These will be they're not going to be the same. We're going to see those spin ups show up within these lines, within this line of storms. But you can really see how these storms are. Let's go down to Chattanooga for a second. Let's take the Chattanooga radar. So now we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Bradley County, McMinn County, Meigs, Hamilton County as well. So Chattanooga, just outside of Chattanooga, is getting rocked here at this hour. No severe thunderstorm warning for Chattanooga, but you do have one just off to your west. So Cleveland, Charleston, Soddy Daisy, severe thunderstorm warning. Dayton, Decatur, not yet. Athens, Etowah, Madisonville, so far so good. Kingston, heavy rain moving its way into your area. Severe thunderstorm warnings also for Sunbright and Wartburg. No tornado warnings so far for that area. So it helps if I put that on the screen for you. The camera on the bottom left-hand side of the screen is in Upper East Tennessee, where we have a lightning show that's taking place in Church Hill. So again, let me switch over to the radar in Morristown now. Tornado warning continues for Bledsoe County and Sequatchie County. South of Pikeville is where the strongest part of that cell is. South of Pikeville. Take those rotating circles off. So that tornado warning continues for about another 5 more minutes for Bledsoe County. Got some pretty good shear in the atmosphere when you look at the velocity product. Yep. This is where we're looking, right here. So again, when you look at the radar, it doesn't show up like it would with those cells that we had earlier. It's rain wrapped. So we have rotation. It's rain wrapped tornadoes possible. When you look at our debris signature, this is correlation coefficient. So this is our debris tracker. There's no debris right now showing up with that storm. Otherwise, it would show up as blue. So no debris showing up in that storm. But we do need to watch this one closely. So Brayton, Paleo, Hendon, Brush Creek, Cagle, Brockdale. These are all areas within inside that tornado warning. Again, that's until 9:45. It's currently 9:41. Amateur radio operators in Hamilton County is reporting quarter-inch hail at 3:12. That was my wife, by the way. Better watch what you do when you come into the studio. Start to rock and roll. Don't go over that camera. You were on camera. Let me take this video. Let's see. You can see that it's rocking and rolling in Churchill towards Harrogate. So no severe thunderstorm warnings on the northern part of town. So Fentress County, Scott, Campbell County, Claiborne. No severe thunderstorm warnings right now, but we do have the possibility of some larger hail. That storm over there just outside moving its way into Claiborne County. So towards Harrogate is racing right along at 45 miles per hour, but does not have a severe thunderstorm warning with it. Got a long ways to go before it gets over to Corrington, my friend. Thank you, Brad. I just heard that myself. I'm over in West Knoxville myself. Becky. See, National Weather Service continues the severe thunderstorm warning. Hail up to half an inch in diameter. Winds greater than 60 miles per hour for Bledsoe, Hamilton, Meigs, Ray, and Sequatchie counties. I mean, look at that. Look at that radar just lighting up, my friends. This is the location that I really think is it's south of Interstate 40, as we were talking about from the very beginning. So I'd say if you live south of Interstate 40, from Knox County through Blount County, that is going to be the greatest threat for severe weather, whether it be damaging winds and a severe thunderstorm warning, to large hail up to an inch in diameter or even greater than that, to even the possibility of tornadoes, because we do have that tornado watch that does run until midnight tonight, and it's only 9:45. Not getting anything major. No major reports coming in yet. That's what the National Weather Service Nashville's doing. So at 9:41, a friend in Crossville. This is coming in from the media over in Middle Tennessee. A friend in Crossville, brother-in-law, is with the fire department seeing rotation at Pilot and Genesis Road. Pilot and Genesis Road in Cumberland County. Let's come back up to the National Weather Service and Morris Sounds radar. There's not a tornado warning right now. So no tornado warning in Cumberland County. So if you look at the radar, we do not have any warnings along Interstate 40 north. Heavy rain, sure. Right around Cumberland County has a BTI of a 2.7. Hail up to about half an inch in diameter. And it's tracking to the east at 38 miles per hour. But again, no severe thunderstorm warnings north of Interstate 40 right now. All of it is south of Interstate 40. We do have... confirmed tornado on the ground in Lincoln County, Tennessee. This is just to the south of Tullahoma, southwest of Winchester, and another confirmed tornado just to the west of Huntsville, Alabama. So this is the environment that's going to be very conducive for severe weather. Let me switch over to the radar product there, and there we go. Oh, boy. All right, look at that. All right, so Dunlap. Whew, that one does not look good, my friends. Right there about Altamont, anyways, Colmont, Tracy City, so Dunlap, not too far from you. So we do have a tornado warning that is now 25 miles from Dunlap, Tennessee, which is along Highway 127, south of Pikeville, north of Chattanooga, along Highway 127. It's only 25 miles away. These storms are moving at about 30. Let's see what this is moving. It has a BTI of a 5.3. It's tracking to the east at 30 miles per hour. So it's going to be within your area within the hour. It's 9:47. So we're going to be watching that one really closely because that one is showing some pretty strong rotation. Make sure I'm on the right radar. Okay. Whew. What an active day, my friends. I mean, the atmosphere is lighting up. Again, in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, you've got live video coming in from Church Hill. Let's take some of the East Tennessee weather cameras for a second. Eli, I'm going to take your camera away for just a moment of time, but you can more than welcome stay there. All right, there we go. Tornado warning continues right now for Grundy, Tennessee, but that's just to the west of Dunlap. We're going to be watching this really closely. Here's your shear product. So anybody joining us from Dunlap, Whitwell, tornado warning continues right now just to our west, just to your west. So 9:49, National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Bradley and Hamilton County. Hail possibly of 1.5 inches in diameter, winds up to 60 miles per hour. But this is a storm that we were talking about where we have so much moisture in the atmosphere. I'll get that rainfall rate coming back here in just a moment. Just dropping just copious amounts of water. Now, we didn't see the storms down across the Southern Valley like what we did on the Northern Valley, but any of these storms have the capability of not only producing damaging winds, large hail, isolated tornadoes, but locally heavy rainfall. You can see that Hardin Valley camera, bottom center of your screen. We've got Churchill there as well, West Knoxville. Those cameras are lighting up right now as the storms move their way into the Knoxville area. Gatlinburg's doing fine so far. I mean, I don't necessarily know that you'll be able to go to bed anyways. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning for Blount, Knox, Loudoun, Morgan, and Roane County. So this just coming in from the National Weather Service. New severe thunderstorm warning for Blount, Knox, Loudoun, Morgan, and Roane County. The information on this is Knox, Blount, let's see, and also Roane. So until 10:30 this evening. Severe thunderstorm warning until 10:30 this evening. At 9:51, a severe thunderstorm is located near Kingston, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Hazards are 60 miles per hour wind or nickel-size hail. It's radar indicated right now, but do expect some possible tree siding and roof damage. We're talking places like Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Maryville, Clinton, Lenoir City, Alcoa, Kingston, Rockwood, Farragut, and Oliver Springs. Interstates included would be Interstate 40 and Interstate 75. Tornado watch remains in effect until midnight tonight. So remember that these storms could start rotating at any moment of time. We don't have a ton of shear showing up. When you look at the velocity products, yeah, we got a little bit of spin in the atmosphere, but nothing too crazy. And it's really the south of Interstate 40 or along Interstate 40 is where we're seeing some of the strongest storms right now. So places inside that severe thunderstorm warning, it's right over Oakdale, Harriman, Kingston, and Rockwood. It's moving its way towards Oak Ridge along Oak Ridge Highway. It's Highway 62. We've got Bradbury, Cave Creek, Eaton, Lenoir City, Farragut. This is in Louisville, downtown Knoxville as well. So anybody inside these areas, Anderson, Knox, Roane, or even Morgan County. So we're going to be watching this one as it moves its way into central Knox County off the Cumberland Plateau. It's right now along Highway 127, getting ready to work its way towards Oak Ridge Highway, right along Interstate 40. And eventually, we'll be able to get some of this information with the TDOT SmartWay cameras. Not much to show you. I was just looking at the TDOT cameras to try to see if there was something to be able to show you, but you can see these cameras are lighting up. 70 lightning strikes right there in that vantage point. Dime-sized hail being reported right now by train spotters in Orme, Tennessee. Can't say I've ever heard that. All right, so we still have that ongoing tornado warning just to the west of Dunlap. So let's switch over to the different radar. This is the radar coming in out of northern Alabama. So you got to switch radars because we got different radars that cover all of East Tennessee. And so you got to get closer to where the storms are. When you look at that storm coming in just right over Altamont, and that would be Colmont, working its way towards Dunlap. But again, Nyota, Athens, Etowah, Charleston, all underneath a severe thunderstorm warning right now. Same with you folks in Benton. That's going to be Nyota, Athens, right along Highway 2, Charleston, Arrowhead, Sanford, Georgetown, Addison, Etowah, and Benton. All within inside that severe thunderstorm warning. That runs until 11 o'clock here tonight. It is currently 9:57. I'm going to second that one there, Jessica. I say it all the time. Don't concentrate on the tornadoes. Straight line winds are just as damaging because they aren't as localized. The National Weather Service actually in Hamblen County went and surveyed that storm from earlier this morning. And we had straight line winds of 80 to 90 miles per hour. That's the one that ripped off the rooftops up into Hamblen County, Russellville area, into Morristown. And so they already went out and surveyed that storm. Obviously, it's in their own backyard. But good on the National Weather Service. They are just doing such an amazing job. Keeping us up to date, warning us on these storms. Remember, the National Weather Service is the one who issues all the watches and all the warnings. We're here just to pass them along. Let's check out this storm just to the west of Dunlap. Still have that tornado warning until 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Make sure we're on the right radar. We're on the right radar. Okay. So Colmont. So I would say places like Dunlap, right along Highway 27, you need to stay weather alert. Look at that, all the lightning showing up in Hardin Valley, West Knoxville. Not seeing much in Gatlinburg so far. Church Hill's lighting up as well. Back to this radar. All right, this is what I was talking about with the rainfall. Look at how much, look at these rainfall rates. 6.4 inches an hour. We've got 7 inches per hour. Coming in just outside of Athens, 7 inches per hour. Just to the east of, just to the west of Etowah, 6.9 inches per hour. Just now down there, Chattanooga, we've got rainfall rates of 5 inches per hour. So this is the kind of rain that's going to be solid downpours, gully washers, if you will. We saw that earlier today with all those storms coming in. Those are rainfall rates that are going to produce flooding or flash flooding. We have a tornado warning outside of Chattanooga in northern Alabama. 2 tornado warnings there. So we'll be watching that for you folks from Chattanooga area, Signal Mountain, Cleveland. We'll be watching those ones closely. All right, so the one that's moving its way out of Roane and Morgan County, here is the latest information on that. It's got a BTI of a 2.7. Hail, 1 inch in diameter. 100% chance of that, likely. So when you look at the hail product, We don't have a ton of hail showing up there. We got more hail showing up to our south. Not a ton of hail showing up out of these storms so far, based on one sort of product. We have some rotation showing up within that storm, but nothing too crazy so far. And we got some strong winds. So within that storm itself, here are the folks that are in that storm. So we're talking about, let's see here. Let's get a different view. Oak Ridge. So Oak Ridge, this is going to be moving into your area. You're already starting to see the lightning and thunder show up. The heavy rain is getting ready to push its way into your area, but the strongest part of the cell, Oak Ridge, is just off to our west. I'd say it's going to be there. It's 11 miles away. Should be there in about 20 minutes. That strongest part of the storm for Oak Ridge, Hardin Valley community, Carnes, is going to be there within about 20 minutes or so. So we guys have some solid, steady rain from Claiborne County down through Union County, Anderson, Campbell County, solid, steady rain. We saw those storms earlier this morning, so watch out for the potential for some localized flooding or flash flooding. We'll have to watch for that because the ground is already saturated from the storms that we saw this morning. Because we saw some downpours this morning across just right along and north of Interstate 40, Upper East Tennessee saw the strongest storms, of course, earlier this morning. Look at the skies lighting up there in Hardin Valley. There's a live look there in Hardin Valley. The skies are lighting up there. It's the East Tennessee weather camera in West Knoxville. And it's lighting up a little bit, but definitely Hardin Valley is really rocking and rolling. Oops, wrong one. Let's go back to that one. How many different ones do we have? So many different views. Now we've, Bean Station, I think you're probably going to be doing better than basically along 40 and south of Interstate 40. But definitely watch it because we have heavy rain moving its way towards Bean Station. Into Upper East Tennessee, but the strongest cells are along and south of 40, moving their way into the Oak Ridge community, downtown Knoxville. Where we continue that severe thunderstorm warning until 10:30. We've got a report of 2 3/4 of an inch of rain in the last 24 hours. Knox County, Woodson Drive, Alcoa Highway area. And a lot more on the way. So we've already gotten 2 3/4 of an inch of rain so far, and we're probably getting another maybe an inch or so. So the potential for some localized flooding will continue. Remember, we do have that flood watch that continues until tomorrow morning. The tornado watch goes for another 2 hours until midnight tonight. And so this is going to be the main system. I still think that we have a chance for maybe some heavier showers, but we'll have to watch out for the threat for severe weather above and beyond that. I do think, though, that once this line comes on through, we'll start to see some improvements. Hopefully this will work the atmosphere up. So anything coming up beyond that, we'll just see some heavier rain. Thank you, Linda. Trying to read your questions. Did the storms move across here sooner than predicted? Nah, not really. Remember, if you were with us the last couple of days, we said at first it looked like maybe it would start right around midnight and go till about 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we got into yesterday, and I said, okay, wait a second here. It's starting to speed up, and these typically do speed up. And we talked about that on the program each and every day. And so yesterday morning we said, okay, well, maybe about 11 to maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. Then this morning, it looked like it was going to be even a little bit sooner. So we're pretty much right on schedule. I don't necessarily know that, give or take an hour or so, but I think we're pretty much right on schedule to what we were talking about. Hopefully you've got all the information through social media, through the push alerts, from the East Tennessee Weather app. Yeah, this lightning is rocking and rolling. We've had a lot of great questions on social media. Hopefully I've got a chance to answer so many of your questions. But thanks for asking the questions on social media. Anything to be concerned about in Athens? Well, Athens is on a severe thunderstorm warning. We've got the heaviest rain right now getting ready to work its way into Athens, if it's not already there, Heather. Remember, the radar is about 2 to 5 minutes old when you look at it on the screen. And so with the storms are moving about 30, 40 miles per hour, think about how fast you can move in about 5 minutes if you're going 40 miles an hour. So again, heavy rain working its way right over Interstate 75 right now, and Highway 2 between Iota and Charleston, Athens. So is there anything to be concerned? Damaging wind, likely going to be the main threat. When you look at the wind product, 36 mile per hour winds, 37. So no rotation. So you got to look at velocity to look at the wind inside the storm. When you look at storm relative velocity, it shows us the rotation inside the storm. So there's a couple different products that we can look at when we examine the storm. You got to realize that what the radar does is it sends out a radar beam, right? And the harder the object, the thicker the object, i.e. sheets of rain, you're going to return more of that energy back to the radar. And so the more energy that gets returned back to the radar, the more data that we can get, or the more intensity that will show up in the storm. And so, when it's running into the rain is pushing the radar beam back to the radar itself. And so that lets us know how intense those storms are, what the wind speeds are with inside that storm. If there's more hail in the storm, it will bounce more energy back. And so that's how we can kind of see what's going on with hail. When we look at the hail product, let me come down to the hail product out of Nashville. So when you look at the hail product, there's the hail so far. So we actually haven't seen as much hail so far in most locations than what we saw earlier this morning in Upper East Tennessee. We don't have really any hail up there, so some heavy rain basically along and north of Interstate 40. Not a ton of hail showing up so far. We've got a couple products that we can take a look at. So the potential for some hail right now would be just outside of Loudon, Philadelphia, just south of Midway, Dogwood, and Cookmill, Erie. So we could see some hail showing up there, possibly upwards of 1/2 inch diameter hail there. When you come a little bit further north, just outside of Oak Ridge, Farragut, Lenoir City, when you look at the hail possible there, also about 1/2 inch in diameter hail there. And a little bit further to the north, up into parts of Union County, again, possibly 1/2 inch diameter hail, which does not signify a severe thunderstorm. You got it, 1 inch in diameter or larger would signify a severe thunderstorm. So let's come back down to the radar to our south, and we'll take a look at the hail down there. So where we could see some heavier, some larger hail, 1.5 inch diameter, Graysville, Dayton. So that's a possibility. We also have severe thunderstorm warnings there. It's got a BTI of a 4.8. It is tracking to the east and northeast right now at 31 miles per hour. So we're talking about places like Piney Acres at 10:16 Eastern Daylight Time, Allen at 10:28. It's now currently 10:10. Decatur Hills at 10:36, Decatur at 10:36, and Breedenton at 10:37. The BTI is a scale out of a 0 through 10, and so the higher that number, the closer we get to number 10, the greater strength that storm has, whether it be rotation, but it's a tornado index. So it's the Barron Tornado Index. So that's going to let us know the closer we get to 10, the higher that number is, the greater chance or the greater threat for tornado genesis there is. Good questions. Yeah, after the tornado watch expires, we are going to see just some really heavy rain, which could lead to some localized flooding and flash flooding during the overnight hours. And so anything that we're left with on the ground as we wake up tomorrow morning, then we'll start to see improving conditions. It's going to be a better day tomorrow. And remember, cooler weather as we get into the upcoming weekend, which, of course, we'll highlight with your forecast when we kind of wrap things up for the night. But right now, we're just going to stick with these storms. Great questions, though. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot more storms tomorrow morning. Oak Ridge is a rocking and a rolling right now. You can see that in Hardin Valley. So Hardin Valley is that camera is looking right there in the bottom center of your screen for the most part. That is rocking and rolling. That's looking towards Oak Ridge from Hardin Valley. So that looks off to the north and northeast from Hardin Valley. So that camera is right there on Hardin Valley Road. And basically Hardin Valley Road and Pellissippi Parkway. And so Oak Ridge would be kind of just straight back away from that camera. So we got a strong cell. Now Solway, Amber Meadows, Farragut, Camelot, Amherst. We've got Ball Camp. All areas that are going to get really hit hard. It's moving out of Oak Ridge right now along Oak Ridge Highway and Pellissippi Parkway. So it's pushing through Edgemore. If you kind of know that community, you get off that exit to Edgemore to go over towards Claxton and High School and eventually into the Clinton community. So Clinton's getting rocking and rolling right now. Not as much lightning, though. So look at this. So you can see north of the severe thunderstorm warning, there's really not a ton of lightning showing up. But we got like 28 lightning strikes in this view right here. But you come south where we do have the severe thunderstorm warnings, we have a lot more lightning strikes. And again, as I mentioned earlier, lightning is there's a correlation between lightning and the strength of the storm. The more lightning that we see in a storm, the stronger the storm is. As lightning starts to come down, it gives us a good indication that the storms are weakening. If lightning starts to ramp up, it gives us a good indication that the storms are strengthening. All right, so we've got severe thunderstorm warning. What are the say that again? Somebody asked, what are the odds that tornadoes hit our region based on the geography, based on the topography? Listen, we got a lot more tornadoes down across the Southern Valley, closer to Alabama, Chattanooga, Sequatchie, Bradley, Marion counties. As you come up the mountain counties, we actually see quite a bit more tornadoes up towards, say, Blunt. Severe gets less, but we get a lot more tornadoes in Blunt and also also the Cumberland Plateau. But our geography makes a huge difference on how things play out. There are certain counties and there's microclimates that take place that we do get a lot more tornado genesis and tornadoes to occur there than other counties. And I can show you that here in just a second because I do have a map that kind of shows you tornadoes from 1970, 1950. Remember, we do have the tornado watch that continues. Those are the counties. So within the tornado watch, that continues not until 10 o'clock tonight. That's actually until midnight. Don't worry about the thing at the top. This is what we're talking about. There's the tornadoes since 1950 to 2023. As you can see, Marion, Hamilton, Bradley, McMinn, Monroe, Polk, Blount, Knox County, anywhere from 15 to over 20 tornadoes since 1950. Places like Ray and Meigs, less. Anderson, Campbell, less. Union, less than that. So there are certain counties, because of just probably geography, the microclimates that we have around here really kind of plays a huge role on how we get tornado genesis to play out. But pretty interesting map to see how concentrated tornadoes are more likely or probable in certain locations. But the good news is right now it looks like we're just sticking with severe thunderstorm warnings, which is great news to pass along. Let's come down to... we got a good solid hail coming out of this storm. Okay, there's a nice little hail core So Allen, Big Spring, Britsville, Hillsview, so Charleston, Athens, Nyota. We've got a really, really good solid hail core coming in and out of that storm. And when you look at the Barron product, here we go. I mean, we're talking about hail possibly upwards of 2.5 inches in diameter. I think 3 is probably overdoing it. But we could see some very large damaging hail out of the storm right now showing up in Ray and Meigs County, southern Ray and Meigs County. There we go, kind of weakened a little bit. But again, this is a product with the Barron computer. So probably 3 inches, or I think 2 inches is probably more likely to see some of that hail forming just outside of Decatur. So Charleston, Decatur, Athens, Nyota, some very large hail showing up in your area. We also have down just to the south of Cleveland, 1.5 inch diameter hail possible, moving towards the Ocoee, Cleveland. Starting to get the rumbles and starting to really rock and roll here at the East Tennessee Weather Studios. But even some possible even larger hail showing up near just outside of Chattanooga. So Chattanooga, a very strong storm right now. Was the severe thunderstorm warning is showing up out of your area. When you look at the hail, we've got lots of hail showing up, stretching all the way from northern Alabama, moving through South Pittsburgh. That's going to move right over the Tennessee River there towards Chattanooga. So Chattanooga heads up. We've got some pretty good hail cores showing up there. All right, for anybody that's checking in on their kids, checking on your kids from out of town, kids are attending the University of Tennessee. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for the University of Tennessee right now. Heaviest rain is right along Interstate 40 from basically the 75-40. Well, let's see. Right around the 75-40 split, just to the east of Oak Ridge. So this is going to be moving its way over Farragut. It is rocking. Wow, that lightning is insane. Look at those cameras lighting up right now, my friends. So yeah, University of Tennessee, just some light rain right now, but the cell that's moving its way from West Knoxville, we'll move that. We'll show you that it is the strongest part of that cell. There's some information there. So Fox Den Country Club, 1022. It's now 1018. Got Twin Springs at 1025. So Farragut, Amherst, Broad Acres. So some of these are going to be some neighborhoods. So hopefully you know your neighborhoods when you come down to the University of Tennessee, because I've got folks asking about their kids. I do have Neyland Stadium on here somewhere. It's hard to see when there's Neyland Stadium right there. So there's Neyland Stadium right here. I'll circle that for you. Let's do it in red so you can see it. There's Neyland Stadium right there. Now let's just expand the view so you can see where your kids are at Neyland Stadium and University of Tennessee. And that storm is the strongest part of that storm is now just about 17 miles away, so about 10:23 or sooner. So it's 10:20, so about another 20 minutes, 30 minutes. The strongest part of the cell is going to be moving its way over the University of Tennessee into downtown Knoxville and over the Bearden area. The power's flickering in Lenoir City. And Lenoir City, man, this is round number 2 for you. Not today, but you guys got rocked the other day. And so Lenoir City, the strongest part of the cell in Lenoir City is right through Cedar Hills along Kingston Pike and Interstate 40. So Highway 11 is Kingston Pike. And when you look at, got some hail possibly showing up just north of Lenoir City. So the strongest part of the system or cell is going to be north of Interstate 40. You can see where that hail core is. So Lenoir City, you're just getting some solid downpours, possibly some stronger winds. But what you need to watch out for now, so these storms are starting to come together, okay? So now what we're going to be watching for is a little bit of this undulation. Let me get a different marker here. a little bit of this undulation. So what that's an indication of is strong winds helping to push the leading edge of this storm out. So you get winds aloft, and it helps to push the leading edge of the storm out. And that's where we can see damaging winds. Let's see. You cannot upload videos to Witcher's Pictures. But I can do this. So Heidi Cameron, thanks for joining us. Lightning just now in the Maryville area. She sent that in at 10:02. This is an incredible view. Look at this. Whoa. That's coming in out of the Maryville community. Thanks to Heidi Cameron. Heidi, thanks for uploading that to the Witcher's Pictures link through the East Tennessee Weather app. That is an incredible view of lightning. Wow. No, if you upload the if you want videos or anything like that, you have to upload those to social media or email me, mike@easttnweather.com. So if you'd like to become a Skywarn storm spotter with the National Weather Service, I will throw a link right now on the chat. You can go take their virtual course. So I'm going to put this on the chat right now. It's coming down the pipeline. If you're interested in becoming a storm spotter with the National Weather Service, which in turn means you could become a storm spotter for Witcher and East Tennessee Weather. So we've started Witcher's Weather Watchers. So I have just now thrown that up on the chat. So there is the link right there. You're not going to be able to click it on your screen, obviously, so don't try to push your screen. That's not going to work. But I've put it in the chat there, so go ahead and click that link. And if you get your certificate from the National Weather Service, send that my way. Message me, email me, mike@easttnweather.com, and become a Witcher Weather Watcher and help the community out. So if any of I Witcher Weather Watchers want to join in on the broadcast, let me know what's going on in your area. Just let me know. Who's not? All right, so let's talk about some folks who are out of the woods. You can see the lightning. You can see where the storm is. So let's talk about folks who can go to bed, okay? So far, anyways, the healthiest, the strongest storms are moving through central Knox County down into Blount and Loudoun County. Monroe County, no severe thunderstorm warnings so far, but we do have some strong storms starting to work their way into your area. McMinn all the way down to Bradley, Marion, into Sequatchie County, still have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings down there. So if you're joining us from Cumberland County, so far so good. You're more likely to be able to go to bed, although we do have some storms off to your north and west, but it doesn't look like it's going to be nearly as strong. Fentress County, Scott County, Morgan County, all is clear for the time being. The strongest storms are moving off to our east, or your east anyways. Same with you folks in Campbell County, and now parts of Anderson County, most of Anderson County, currently in the clear right now. Clinton and Norris still in the thick of it, but Oak Ridge, you're now just seeing some lighter rain moving its way on in. Strongest storm right now moving its way through Farragut, so here are some of those areas. Fox Den, well, that just disappeared. So Boyd right now, Virtue right now, Shady Grove, Kingsgate, Bel Air, Choteau Estates, Concord, and Farragut. All within the next 5 to 10 minutes. This storm is going to be packing a punch. It is lighting up the storm. You can see those cameras showing up right now. So if you have any photos, upload those through the Witcher's Pictures link on the East Tennessee Weather app. Woo, my friends. So upper East Tennessee, anywhere along Interstate 40 north towards the Tri-Cities area. So along Interstate 75, Campbell County, down 75, along 40 up towards Morristown, Kingsport, the Tri-Cities area, the area I just circled right there on the map. Heavy rain right now. Not a ton of lightning. Not nearly as much activity as what's going on across the Southern Valley. But severe thunderstorm warnings right now. No tornado warnings. Anybody to the west of the system, west of Interstate 75 and north of Interstate 40, the upper northwest quadrant of East Tennessee, all is clear right now. So you're more likely to be able to go to bed, and it's 10:26. So I sure hope you have a great night's rest. Anybody in the Farragut community, Louisville, Lenore City? We've got communities like Foxfire, Dean Hill, Amherst, Arrowhead, Rockford, all in the path of this next system. Let's go ahead and check in on the velocity product and make sure that we don't have any rotation out of that. We do not. Let's check in on some of those winds. Some of those winds are going to be incredibly strong. So hail likely going to be the case right now for folks in and around Farragut, Choteau Hills, Cedar Hills, Bluegrass, Foxfire, Louisville. So if you're joining us from those communities, it is pouring right now. Do we have any hail out here there? Not quite sure if we're getting any hail here in West Knoxville, but it is dumping. I can't hear you. You're going to have to talk. My wife's in here, by the way. Janelle's in here in the studio helping me out. We got hail now showing up in Lenore City. Hail just started in Tanrara community. If you're joining us from Tanrara, that would be along Fox Road and south of Kingston Pike and right along Pellissippi Parkway. I was talking about you earlier, Adam. You're the truck driver that works for UPS. Kind of hold off a little bit, bud. Let this storm pass you, and then drive to Nashville. I want you to stay safe. We've got hail showing up now in Farragut. And that's what you're looking there on your screen right there. So Farragut right now could have hail. Let's see, about 3/4 inch diameter, but we do have that severe thunderstorm warning. BTI right now, 2.6. So really, right now, I mean, I wouldn't let your guard down, but I don't necessarily know that, I mean, it can happen at a moment's notice. So we have to watch closely. But tornado threat seems to have transitioned to high wind, heavy rain, and large hail threat. What? Oh, it's incredible. Any Witchers weather watchers out there want to hold up a camera, and we'll put your camera live on the show here. Super bad going on in Hawkins County. But the good news is Hawkins County, Hancock, Hawkins, Upper East Tennessee, just heavy rain. A lot of lightning showing up as well. But the majority of the storms right now moving through central Knox County, working towards Louisville, Maryville. That's where some of the heaviest rain, right along Pellissippi Parkway, and working its way along Alcoa Highway. So my friend Adam Love chimed in. He's getting ready to drive a semi-truck. I would just hold off probably another 20 or 30 minutes, Adam, and you should be just fine. How's Morgan County the rest of the night? So we'll go through the future cast here in just a moment. We still have storms off to our north and west. When you look at the national radar, you can see how that's all playing out. So we still have storms to our north and west. So there is still some storms and maybe even another round of storms overnight tonight. But I think we're going to chew up the atmosphere from what we're currently seeing. And so I think it would just transition to a very heavy rain event. Got a picture from Jorge. I can't see that picture. Doesn't show much, Jorge. See if we can upload another one if you don't mind. All right, we got another Witcher weather watcher that's going to join us and put a camera on. So we've got Elise, who's now part of the Witcher's Weather Watchers. So we'll get her on camera here, and we'll move her up here. Whoa, Churchill's rocking and rolling right now. Elise, shoot me a text message. Where's that video coming from, Elise? Somebody just reported a 69 mile per hour wind off of Ebenezer Road. 69 mile per hour wind from a weather station off of Ebenezer Road. All right, Elise is joining us from Strawberry Plains. Thank you, Elise. We'll just keep that camera up for a little bit and see what kind of action we get with that camera. So we do have to watch out. Listen, we've got the actual cold front to our north and west. So actual cold fronts to our north and west. So as that comes on through, we're still going to track in more activity, probably late tonight, early tomorrow morning. So do we see more storms or at least heavy rain as we transition into closer maybe to 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, the possibility is there. I don't necessarily know that we'll have major severe weather, but we'll have to watch that one closely. And so make sure as you go off to bed, if you are heading off to bed tonight, as I call out counties to go off to bed, make sure that you have a way to receive weather information in the middle of the night just to be on the safe side. Thank you, Sharon McGill. Man, West Knoxville, Hardin Valley, just lighting up right now. So we have ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings right now. The current warned storm moving north of Blount County and western Knox County may have some very strong winds as it's blowing out. We have a 70 mile per hour wind tag on that storm. So Blount County and Knox County right there. So the National Weather Service talking about the fact that it's starting to bow out a little bit. And that's a sign of, we were talking about that earlier, the sign of that those bow echoes. And that's where you get the upper level winds to transfer from the back side of the storm and the upper of the storm to the front side of the storm. So it actually pushes the radar out ahead of it. And so you can kind of see how that's taking shape right there from Louisville, right there, as the storm's going to blow its way in from the northwest, the upper level winds, and push it to the south and southwest. Just received a report of 1.5 inches hail in South Pittsburgh. That's along Interstate 75. All right, the National Weather Service is saying, hey, listen, everybody, thanks so much. As a reminder, yes, we are still expecting another MCS, a mesoscale convective system, a complex of storms. Let's see. To arrive during the overnight hours. Timing is a bit uncertain, but looking at least the high resolution guidance, I think it will be entering East Tennessee around 4 to 6 a.m. That's what I just said. So I think the biggest concern will be straight line winds and flash flooding. So yes, between 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning as we wake up, get ready to head off to work, the kids getting ready for school. Not quite sure what time your kids get up, but that is really... that's really what we're going to be watching. So yes, we do have another complex of storms that are going to move on into the area. National Weather Service continues a severe thunderstorm warning for Blount, Knox, Loudoun, Monroe, and Roane County. So when you look at the radar product, so probably pretty strong winds being transferred to the surface. And just like that, it's in and it's out. It's going to be pretty quickly as it moves its way into your area. Athens, Etowah, down by Ducktown, Benton, Cleveland. Cleveland, you're in the clear right now. So again, folks, from Spring City to Crossville, Kingston to Morgan County, Anderson to Campbell, Union to Claiborne, Scott and Fentress County, you are all in the clear right now. You can go to bed. But again, realize that we are going to talk about another complex of storms between 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning. And so damaging wind and heavy rain would be the main threat out of those. But again, like we've talked about, you can't, I don't necessarily, sometimes we get so concentrated on severe weather or on tornadoes that we forget about the damaging winds, the widespread path that damaging winds can produce. But with all this rain that we're seeing out there right now, and when you look at the rainfall rates out of this, not 24-hour rainfall totals, let's get the right radar here. When you look at the 24-hour rainfall, not quite sure why that's choosing Jackson, Kentucky's radar. There we go. Just like that. So this is 24-hour rainfall totals. So remember earlier today we had that flash flood warning where we've picked up right around just south of Kingston, west of Loudoun County. We picked up 4.5, nearly 5 inches of rain. Through Lenoir City, Loudoun, anywhere from 3. Farragut picking up about 2.5 inches. Just to the east side of downtown Knoxville, about 2.8 inches of rainfall. And this is, of course, Doppler estimated. But with that said, other locations across northern Cumberland County, 2.4. Northern Fentress, 2.4. Scott County, Oneida area, about 2.6. So these are the areas that we'll have to watch for as we head into the overnight hours. So between 4, we'll say anytime after about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning through closer to the sunrise hour, we're likely to get another batch of heavy rain to move on through. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like on our Futurecast model. I'm going to pick up our Futurecast model to give you an idea of how this all plays out over the next 24 hours. So again, we'll pick up our timeline here. It's 10:39. Here's our Futurecast model. This is just one model picking up on the activity that we've been seeing, a little bit behind of what we're seeing, but the idea is there. This one's overdoing it. Let me pick a different model here for you. What's that? Power is out. So I'll take a look at some power outages here in just a second. Let's pick up a different model because not all models are created the same. All right, this model is kind of picking up on what we're seeing. So here we pick up our timeline at 11 o'clock tonight. There it is. Whoa, wait, slow down, Witcher. Okay, so here we go. So there's 1, 2, 3. There we go, right there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the third wave, basically. So we had the one earlier this morning. We've got the one that's going through right now. And then as we get into the 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7 o'clock hour tomorrow morning, this is possibly what we could be dealing with. So do we see some damaging winds? Do we see some severe thunderstorm warnings with that? Possibly. and localized flooding and flash flooding is possible as well. So as we look at your the rainfall totals, accumulated rainfall due to the overnight storms that we could see once again. Let's get the timeline going. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Here we go. So now let's pick up our timeline. So now we've seen the storms. A lot of the heaviest rain has been across the Southern Valley. The forecast model picked up on that nicely. Here comes our overnight storms. And watch this, like places like Fentress County and stuff like that, Scott County. And by the way, that's not saying that you didn't see any rain. This is a forecast model. So the rain's already moved on out for you folks. So now here comes another batch of rain. So do we pick up another half an inch to over an inch of rainfall by sunrise tomorrow morning? The possibility is there. The possibility is there. So we could see another 1 to 2 inches of rainfall maybe overnight tonight into the sunrise hour. That's why the flash flood threat continues, and that's why we do have the flood risk that's going to continue overnight tonight. Now, again, we do have that tornado watch that runs until midnight tonight, not 10 o'clock, midnight tonight. I wish I could cover up that banner. But midnight tonight, we have the tornado watch that's going to continue. But I think it's associated with this storm. So once this passes on by, I would imagine that the tornado watch will expire. When you look at the big picture, look at this. This is still what we're looking at. So see, the cold front's still far to our west. And so look at this next batch of rain that's getting ready to come on through. So we're not done with this system at all. And that's why I said earlier today, I mean, I think the flash flood threat's going to be maybe a little bit more of an extent than anything else. So if you're joining right now and you've not downloaded the East Tennessee Weather app to stay on top of the weather situation, go to the Google Play Store, go to the App Store, go to Roku TV, Amazon Fire, go to YouTube, smash that subscribe on YouTube, but just search East TN Weather from the Google Play Store or the App Store. You can download the East Tennessee Weather app. It's a great tool. It has a lot of wealth of information for you. And one of those things that you could do and use it for, by the way, is during the overnight hours. So say you get up in the night, you hear some rumbles of thunder, you can open up your app just like that. And you can come up. This is what it opens up to. The interactive radar is going to be your best friend. That's going to be your best friend for the summertime months, for those pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Watch this. This is exactly what's going on out there right now, okay? So let me just expand the view a little bit. So that is actually what's going on. It's showing you the lightning data, how much lightning we have out there. But the cool thing is, let's come in a little bit closer. The cool thing is, I just got a report that KUB has some outages. We'll talk about outages here in a second. The cool thing is this goes back 2 hours, pauses at the current hour, and then gives you a forecast of 2 hours. So this is going to be a great tool if you get woken up in the middle of the night due to maybe a severe thunderstorm warning. You can go open the app up, check out the storms. Or again, as we get into the later spring and summer months and we get those pop-up thunderstorms and you're heading off to the lake, you've got those barbecues going on, this is going to be your greatest tool because it gives you that future cast of 2 hours. Current, past 2 hours, and a future cast of 2 hours. Plus, you can turn on all your watches and warnings. So if you go here to the overlays, you get go to your alerts, and there's all the watches and warnings. So you can see all the watches and warnings on the screen. You can come click on that. It gives you the indication that, oh, look at, there's a little exclamation mark. Let's click on that. Yeah, we got a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado watch, aerial flood watch. So we click on the severe thunderstorm warning, and there is literally all the information from the National Weather Service that I have been reading to you all night long, all associated and all with the East Tennessee Weather app. So go to the Google Play Store, the App Store, and search East TN Weather, all one word. I will put the information in the chat as we speak, but this is going to be a great tool as we progress through time. So go download that. So I will put that information in the chat right now on how to download the app. If you don't have the app, it is coming in the chat right meow. So here we go. That's what it looks like. There's your links. Of course, don't click your computer screen or your phone or the TV. You're not going to be able to click it. But I have now thrown that in the chat. So go download the app because it's going to be a great tool for overnight storms, for afternoon summertime storms, especially when you're not paying attention. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate that. Well, Kayla, if you've always wanted to be a meteorologist, you can join Witcher's Weather Watchers. Let me go back to the radar. Sorry, I didn't realize I had that other screen on. You can go back. You can go to the take the Skywarn Storm Spotter program, become a Skywarn Storm Spotter with the National Weather Service, and then you can join Witcher's Weather Watchers. And just like we have that camera in Churchill, we had one in Strawberry Plains that is currently not there anymore. But you can join the program just like Eli has and just like Elise has as well. Eli, I have your camera on. So let's show you some outages, shall we? Here's some power outages. Here's what we have going on for power outages. Let me take everything. Let me clean up the screen here for you. Take off the lightning, take off the warnings. So these are just some estimated power outages. 1,500 there in Granger County, 100 in Union, Claiborne about 100, Kingston about 2,500, 1,000 in Crossville, Loudon about 700. Did have reports of some power outages from KUB, Lenore City. Yeah, about 700 in Lenore City. So I've not seen what KUB is reporting right now. Let's look at their map and see how many power outages are currently happening through KUB. So KUB is reporting 149 of 219,000 people without power. So that's why it's not showing up on my screen. So we don't have that many power outages from KUB. That's good. That's great. Thank you, Brent. Why didn't you show up today, bud? Almost 1,400 out Fort Loudon Electric is without power right now. All right. So again, like I said, that's just an estimate from some national data that gets put into my computer system. Not quite sure what you're saying, Stephen. Are you talking about a camera? I do have a camera coming to Townsend. All right, so Kayla, just hit me up, mike@eastnweather.com. I posted that link in the chat. Just go take the virtual course. I don't think I did post it, but I'll post it again for anybody wanting to take the course with the National Weather Service, become a Skywarn Storm Spotter. Listen, it helps the National Weather Service, right? Because you learn how to report that to the National Weather Service. I just posted that again, that link to become a Skywarn Storm Spotter with the National Weather Service. And then if you go get that certificate, message me at mike@eastnweather.com. You can find all that information on my webpage at eastnweather.com as well, or through the app, you can message me as well. Send me your certificate. And then I will let you join in on the Witcher's Weather Watchers. We're creating a huge community of storm spotters in our community, people who love weather, who have always wanted to be a part of weather. And you're going to come join the program, which I'm surprised. I've got a couple of my folks. Tom, I don't know where you are, bud. I'm surprised I didn't get more reports from my Witcher's Weather Watchers this evening. Everyone's too busy watching the light show, huh? All right, severe thunderstorm warning now for, well, that's Polk, Tennessee, and Cherokee, North Carolina. All right, so that's moving over into North Carolina. But Polk, Tennessee still has a severe thunderstorm warning, so we still have a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings. National Weather Service continues a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see. Let's go back to the latest. Continues severe thunderstorm warning for Bledsoe, Hamilton, Marion, Ray, and Sequatchie counties. So again, we still have a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings, and now we have a special weather statement until 11:45 for Upper East Tennessee. So let's take a look at that. Pea-size hail being reported in Knox County, Wilson Road, Pleasant Ridge Road. 1+ inch per hour rainfall, Spring Hill, Mildred Drive, both by trained spotters. So upper East Tennessee, no severe thunderstorm warnings, but strong thunderstorms for Cott County, Greene County, Washington, up towards Carter and Unicoi, Johnson County as well. We've got Sullivan County, Hawkins, and let's see, come down to Hamlin County. Hamlin County currently under a special weather statement, as well as Jefferson County under a special weather statement. That just means that the storm is strong, but not strong enough to produce any sort of severe weather. Oh, I'm sorry, Eli. I thought I had you on. I will get you on again here. I apologize. I thought I still had you on, but I don't. Yeah, we'll get you back on here, bud. He's got lightning showing up like crazy up there. There you go, Eli. Eli is one of the Witcher weather watchers. Let's take that one down for now. So we don't have anything going on in Strawberry Plains right now. Let's see. Eli, your camera is live on East Tennessee weather, and it's been lighting up. West Knoxville should lighten up like crazy. Hardin Valley's calmed down. Downtown Gatlinburg. Nothing going on in downtown Gatlinburg right now, but that camera in downtown Gatlinburg is getting ready to get walloped. Sevierville. All right, so let's go up and down the line and talk about who's getting the heaviest rain and where the heaviest rain is going to be going. So Kingsport to Johnson City, starting to get some heavier showers and some thunderstorms. Greene County, so up and down. So this storm is now paralleling Interstate 81 from Baileyton all the way down to the 8140 split. So Greenville, Newport, Parrottsville, anybody along Highway 321 and Highway 25 running over into Hot Springs, North Carolina, you're ready to get it walloped. We've got a heavy rain showing up in Bainbury and Dandridge, Jefferson City and Morristown. Come down 411. 411 starting to get hit hard. That runs from Newport through Sevierville. Light rain so far, but heavier showers and thunderstorms getting ready to move on in. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning right now along the Parkway from Kodak through Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and into, it doesn't look like downtown Gatlinburg is technically in a severe thunderstorm warning, but you're just on the edge. You might as well be at this point of the game. Pigeon Forge 321 through Townsend, light rain right now, but as you go past Townsend, through Walland towards Maryville along 321, Miller Cove, Cold Springs to Maryville, you're also getting ready to get walloped with some very heavy rainfall and strong winds. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue in those areas for Maryville, Greenback, Townsend, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, and right along the Dragon up into North Carolina from and through Pumpkin Center, south of Maryville along the 129. You were getting ready to get walloped. Greenback's getting some heavy rain right now and strong winds. Madisonville starting to see improving weather conditions. Same with you folks in Nyota and Athens and Etowah. You're going to start seeing improving conditions if you're not already here very, very shortly. So Tellico Plains, you're ready to get hit hard with some incredible amounts of lightning. So other locations in Monroe County would be places that are on your screen. Coker Creek, Ivy, Mecca, Sitico, Belltown, and Acorn. And you can see those cameras lighting up right now. I think all my Witcher's weather watchers went to bed. Ducktown along Highway 64 that runs all the way from Ducktown to Cleveland and into the Benton community. Heavy rain right now, strong winds, severe thunderstorm warning continues there as well. And right along 411 that runs from Madisonville down through Etowah into Benton, starting to see improving weather conditions, places like Greenback, Interstate 75 and seeing improving conditions down through Charleston, Cleveland. But still some strong thunderstorms to our west, because as I switch the radar product, you'll really see that we're seeing some stronger storms down across the Southern Valley still. And so that's really what we're going to be watching. So is that we have a stronger cell now just outside of Etowah. So that's going to be moving its way into Tellico Plains at about 11:12, and it's now currently 10:54.
Hey, Mike, I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I can, Eli. Hold on one second, sir. There's no tornado warnings at all in East Tennessee. All severe thunderstorm warnings. All right, Eli, what's you got, buddy? You're live on East Tennessee Weather, by the
All
way.
right,
bud.
we have about pea-sized hail here in Churchill. About pea-sized hail.
So you're getting some pea-sized hail in Churchill. Let's come back up to Churchill. Let's go back to the National Weather Service in Morristown. And so we'll come up to Churchill, which is just to...
It doesn't. I noticed that it kind of weakened on radar a little bit.
It did.
But it only lasted for about 5 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, they're kind of moving through pretty quickly, aren't they, Eli?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very quickly. But the light show is absolutely incredible right now.
Oh, we've been watching your camera all evening.
Yeah, I've been outside all evening, so I'm actually having the whole power back on right now to keep it up. So.
Well, I appreciate your dedication to East
I'll go
Tennessee
ahead and
weather,
get off,
Eli.
and I'll let you come back to your coverage. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, dude, you're totally fine. You're part of the conversation. You're part of the show. You're a Witcher weather watcher. Eli, come on now, my friend.
Oh, did you see that one? Oh, wow. People are still saying that there's an echo. I've got my AirPods in, so...
People are still hearing an echo?
I guess that can be a test run with that one as well. It says... Yeah, people are saying that there's still an echo, Cody is, so...
Okay. Well, we'll just have to deal with it. We'll figure out that problem down the road. Hopefully that's not too much of an echo where folks can't understand you. Now, try to talk now. Let's see if that changes it.
Okay, how's this? Is there still an echo?
You turn it up. My microphone's not picking up that sound.
Our volume...
Oh, yeah, there's still an echo, bud.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and mute myself then. They want to hear you, not me.
No, that's okay. You're good, bud. I appreciate you, Eli. And, of course, if there's anything that changes in your area, which I don't think it's going to, make sure you chime in.
Will do. Thanks.
Yeah, you don't have Eli. You said you didn't have Facebook up or anything. You don't have the East Tennessee Weather app open. You don't have Facebook open.
Nothing but the stream that you sent us on the group text, and I've got an AirPod in. Not like earlier today was just my phone. I've got my AirPod in. So
we'll work through some.
Let me look. It might be on my iPhone, but it's everything. No, it says AirPods, so it's coming through my AirPods.
Well, we're working through a few technical things. We've had some echoes here or there, but hey, listen, you can still understand them, right? Anyways, Eli, I really do appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Sorry about all the confusion earlier, too.
No need to be sorry. We've lost some power.
Say that I've never had such a...
Say that again?
Go ahead. I didn't interrupt. I'm bad at that.
No, go ahead.
I just have to say, to all the viewers out there, it says there's 1,000 of you watching. Y'all got to get in on this. This is neat. If you're a Skywarn spotter, do it. This is great.
And tell people why we got you on the screen right now. I know we got a little bit of an echo, so we'll just have to deal with it. But the course wasn't too hard, was it?
Oh, I've been doing it for 10 years.
Well, there you go.
It's not that hard at all either. I would really encourage everyone to go to in-person training if they can. Anthony and the crew at the Weather Service, they are terrific.
Oh, our National Weather Service is amazing, isn't it?
They are truly incredible. They are very incredible people and dedicated to saving lives. I mean, big thanks to them in Morristown tonight. Just got to go out and say that. So.
I mean, they are busy for sure. You can see all the severe thunderstorm warnings. They're the ones who issue all these warnings. They are very busy tonight. And we do hats off to our National Weather Service up in Morristown, Tennessee. All the crew up there. I don't know if they're watching East Tennessee weather or not, but if they are, we really appreciate you tonight.
Rain's starting to pick up here again, so I'll go ahead and get off here. I'm still here, but if you need me to chime in, just let me know.
You're good, buddy. You're good.
Thanks.
Yeah, where are the rest of my Witcher weather watchers? Why aren't you chiming in here, folks? I'm just kidding. Because Tom's heading off to bed. That's why. He's going to be up for round 3. Yeah, well, I think we're all going to be up for round 3. And remember that if you download the East Tennessee Weather app, I will send a push notification through the app that lets you know if I am broadcasting live. I am going to keep my severe weather show going all night long as well. And so my severe weather show is what you can watch on the East Tennessee Weather app when you click on the live weather channel. It's going to be a little bit more not so broad picture like the national country or anything like that. We're going to keep things a little bit more local. Radar, futurecast, severe weather elements that we can anticipate for the rest of the night tonight. So if you do wake up in the middle of the night and you want to check in on the East Tennessee Weather app, if I'm not broadcasting live, by all means, you'll be able to see a little bit more of the activity that's going to be ongoing around East Tennessee because I'm changing the way my show is going to be broadcast tonight, my 24-hour weather channel. So by all means, check that out. Is there hail in Strawberry Plains? I've not heard of any hail in Strawberry Plains yet, but I'm checking in on the chat. Sherry McGill says she really appreciates you, Janelle. She is a rock star, and she's got to work tomorrow. I've turned it down. Hey, Daryl, you can email that to me if you want. You can post that to social media. I wish you could upload videos through the East Tennessee Weather app. Let's see if we've gotten any new photos coming in. Oh, we got some new photos. This is coming in from Amber Stevens from Loudoun County, Tellico Village area. Take a look at this lightning strike. I think that's similar to one we showed you earlier. Incredible, incredible photos. That's Amber Stevens sharing that one through the East Tennessee Weather app. Amber, thank you. Oh, by the way, some other photos that we saw. I'll go back to the radar here in a second. This was from the storm earlier today. This was sent in by one of the Witcher's Weather Watchers. This is a house near Bethesda Cemetery in Russellville. This is the kind of stuff that we saw earlier today. Look at that storm damage. Straight line wind damage is what the National Weather Service said. 80 to 90 mile per hour winds out of that storm that moved out of or through Morristown into the Russellville community. Incredible storm damage there. We also had, let's see what else we got. We even had like cemeteries being gravestones being knocked down. I mean, look at that. That gravestone got knocked down. So if you send them through the East Tennessee Weather app, I can pull those on camera very, very quickly. Here's a really cool lightning strike from earlier. Take a look at that photo. That photo was sent in by Matthew Hogue, who is also a Witcher Weather Watcher, still rumbling down the Blunt and Loudoun County line. From earlier. Listen, if you're joining us from a campground, hey, don't be afraid to check in with East Tennessee Weather. This was sent in by Debbie Hamilton. She said, it really helps everyone to stay up to date at the campground. Thank you very much for what you're doing, and you're very welcome. It's what I do, my friends. It's what I do. All right, so severe thunderstorm warnings continue. The National Weather Service has now canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Bradley County, Tennessee. They are still continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for Blunt County, McMinn County, and Monroe, as well as Polk County. So we still have a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings stretching all the way just south of Newport and Morristown. So let's go down this line again. So Newport, so Sevierville, Pigeon Forge. If you're not getting the storms yet, boy, I wish my camera was up and running in Pigeon Forge right now. But I do have Gatlinburg showing up on the screen, and Gatlinburg is getting ready to get rocked. And so that camera there in the bottom right-hand side of the screen right there in downtown Gatlinburg, that is getting ready to get rocked. That storm, the strongest part of that storm, is essentially 10 miles away. So in about 20 minutes, it should be moving into downtown Gatlinburg. And we'll be able to see that on the camera. So we are staying improving conditions. Hey, Knoxville, Knox County, you're more than welcome to go to bed. Granger County, you're more than welcome to go to bed. Hawkins, Hancock County, Claiborne County, you're more than welcome to go to bed unless you just want to watch the show. We are starting to get a few more thunderstorms showing back up into Fentress County. No severe weather there. Scott County, Fentress, Morgan, Cumberland, Roane, Anderson. We'll go Loudoun County down the I-75 corridor. We are good to go to bed. So McMinn County, and then a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings still hanging on just out there towards Hamilton County. So that's probably going to move its way into Bradley County. So Cleveland, Benton, and Charleston. We could see some stronger storms. Let me go back down to that radar because that's going to make a huge difference on what it looks like. There we go. What'd you say? Powell's in Knox County. In Knox County, you can go to bed. It's getting real in Townsend. Let's go back over to Townsend. So again, severe thunderstorms all the way down. We still have tornado warnings down into North Georgia, down near Dalton, outside of Lafayette. And we still have some tornado warnings over towards Huntsville, Alabama, where we continue to see some supercells. Oh, these are some supercells out of, this is out of Huntsville, Alabama. Whew. Man, they've been getting rocked they've been getting rocked over there. That's the truth. All right, we're not in Huntsville, so let's come back up here. So you can see that main line moving its way into the mountain counties. So Etowah, you're in the clear. Madisonville, you're in the clear. We got Tellico Plains. It's rocking and rolling in Tellico Plains right now. Ducktown, rocking and rolling. Come up that line along Highway 129. South of Maryville, pushing right over through the Dragon. That's where we're getting some very strong winds and very heavy rainfall. Townsend, getting ready to get rocked. Tremont, Greenbrier, Elkmont up in the Smoky Mountains, getting ready to get rocked as well. Heavy rain, heavy rain. Maryville, you can go to bed. Alcoa, Rockford, Lakemont, Louisville, Friendsville. You can all go to bed. Sleep tight. Have a great night. Thanks for joining tonight. Norris? Norris can go to bed. That's Anderson County. Anderson, Campbell, Granger. So anybody in the mountain counties. Let's go down the mountain counties. So all the way from Carter County. So if I don't call out your county, you can go to bed. How about that? It'll be a lot easier because there's less counties to count, to go through. But let's just go Tri-Cities. So we'll go Carter County, Johnson County. I'm not calling, these are counties that you cannot go to bed yet, okay? So if I don't call your county, you can go to bed. Let's restate that again. All right, so Sullivan County, Johnson County, still in the thick of it. Carter County, still in the thick of it. Washington, Greene County, still in the thick of it. Cocke County, as well as Sevier County. So again, Gatlinburg is getting ready to get rocked. We've got Blount County, except the northwestern sections of Blount County. So if you live northwest of Maryville, like I said, Maryville, Friendsville, Alcoa, you can go to bed now. But everyone else, as it moves its way, but it's going to be moving its way into the mountain counties, into more rural part of the mountains, Monroe County, and we'll come down to Polk County. We still have some strong thunderstorms, so I would say down across the Southern Valley. If anybody's joining us from the Southern Valley near Chattanooga, I'd still hang on just a little bit longer. But look at the storms back into Nashville. So we still look at all this energy. So now we still have we still have more energy back towards Cookeville, north of Nashville. As I loop this, we may be staying up for a little bit longer. Darn it, you storms. I kid. So we do have some storms to our northwest. We're going to be watching those. We're going to be tracking those. Right now, though, you're A-okay. If I called you out and said that you can go to bed, again, just make sure you have your push notifications turned on. Janelle, you can go to bed. If you live in the Witcher household, go to bed except Mike. You have to work. I got to work. Oh, wait, I am working. Oh, my goodness. All right, your head's on camera. You might as well just stand up and say goodnight to everybody. Wave, wave. Everyone say goodnight to Janelle. She's off to bed. Everyone says thank you very much, Janelle. Appreciate everything you're doing to help out. Love you too, babe. So Nancy Norton says thunder, lightning, heavy rain in Dandridge right now. Oh boy, Dandridge is rocking. Hey neighbor. Camp Creek is going through it right now. The lightning is gorgeous. Says bestie for the resty 0808. Bestie for the resty 08. I like that. We got Sabrina Hurley joining us from Oklahoma. What's up, Sabrina? Well, I didn't call Green County to go to bed. Those are the counties I said don't go to bed. Knoxville, you can go to bed. But again, we are talking about more activity coming in from the northwest, so you can still see this batch of rain and storms. Now, it's no severe weather. Looks like it's just going to transition to some heavy rainfall as it moves its way on into the area. But heavy rain is going to be moving its way out of Hopkinsville, southern Kentucky, through northern Middle Tennessee, and back along the Cumberland Plateau. So when you switch over back to the Morristown radar, and we'll come back here, you can see how those storms are firing back up. That's the wrong. Let's get back on the Morristown radar. There we go. So storms are starting to fire back up. But not a lot of lightning. You can see the lightning has really decreased in intensity across the northern plateau. Some of those storms come back into the area. National Weather Service has now canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Loudoun County, but continuing a severe thunderstorm for Blount, Monroe, and Sevier County. One giant glass of water. Thank you, Peter. Power outs right now in Miller's Cove. Wallen is getting hit hard. Wallen is getting hit hard. Here's your Mountain County view. So again, we're watching this camera, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, right there. Right there. That's the downtown Gatlinburg camera. And again, you can see Gatlinburg is right there in the center of your screen. And the rain is light for now. But that's not going to be the case here very soon. All this rain, Little Cove, Hatchertown, Wares Valley, Greenbrier. What's up, Brandon? Thanks for joining us from Sullivan County. Tell me you have the East Tennessee Weather app and you're passing along down there across the Southern Valley. Tell me you are.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Just say now I got my East Tennessee weather shirt on. Just thought I'd pass that around right now.
You want to say that a little bit louder?
I got my East Tennessee weather shirt on.
Oh, so do I, Eli. So do I. No need to wear a shirt and tie.
I don't have any light out here. I'd show it to you. I mean, I could try, but it might not.
I don't think we're going to be able to see anything, Eli.
Let me see. Let me try turning on the light on it. And I'll walk in front of it, and we'll see. I don't know if you can see or not.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got to take the camera down a little bit. We saw it a little bit, Eli. That's awesome, bud.
Okay.
That's awesome. If you're looking for some East Tennessee weather merch, by the way, East Tennessee weather merch is available online at easttnweather.com or through the app itself. But easttnweather.com is probably the best
location. I
location
can be your advertisement.
if you want any merch. I love it, Eli. I love it. Helping to spread the word up in Upper East Tennessee, aren't you, bud?
I've been sending links to your streams and stuff all evening too.
And my apologies to folks that may join us from Kentucky every once in a while. I know I used to broadcast in Kentucky, but I do not no longer. I'm East Tennessee weather, so I run from Chattanooga, the Tri-Cities, the Cumberland Plateau, the mountains, all of East Tennessee. This is what we do. This is what we cover. We cover it all every single day.
And I have to say, this is something really unique as well, because years ago, every little station had their own weather channel, but now this is more accessible, It covers more people, and they can go to one place and see everything that they need to see.
Spoken from a true fan. Spoken from a true Witcher weather watcher, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been a weather geek. April 27, 2011 is what started with me. I was in kindergarten at the time, so
you know, just a baby.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting ready to turn 20 here before too long. So.
Oh my gosh! I spent 9.5 hours on the air that day.
That was a knot. I'll tell you that.
That April 27th was one for the record books for sure. I'm glad this one didn't turn out to be like that. I mean, this kind of a storm system, this kind of a line of storms can produce tornadoes. And so I'm so thankful that, we didn't see that. And we talked about that as well on the broadcast. If you join us on Wake Up with Witcher, we broadcast every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock in the morning on all East Tennessee weather platforms. I don't push out a push alert every single day for Wake Up with Witcher because then I think people would just get annoyed and delete the app. I don't want people to delete the app and get annoyed for push notifications. But Wake Up with Witcher is at 7 o'clock in the morning every day. We get to work with the forecast, and then we sit down and we literally have coffee talk. We talk about things, we talk about holidays, we talk about events going on. If you have events going on in your community or that you're associated with, we talk about that in the morning to pass along the word of what's going on in our community from you. It's great. It's fun.
Oh yeah. I'm just so thankful that you've got this going, Mike. I mean, this is a terrific thing that you've started.
Well, I appreciate you, Eli.
I mean, finally having, I've been talking, I said, up here in the Tri-Cities, we had a local weather channel that shut down about 10 years ago. And I remember watching it all the time. Because, we had the weather channel and all that, but they were showing reality shows. But anyways, it's just nice to have weather.
It's weather all the time. It's weather when you want it, Eli.
Exactly. It's what the shirt says.
It's what the shirt says.
And it's terrific.
Because I don't care what platform you come to, it's weather when you want it. We're not scheduled to weather information. We're not scheduled TV with what we do. I have it on all these different platforms.
Whoa!
I saw that one.
That was close.
I saw that one. I have it on all these different platforms because I don't care where you come and get your weather information from. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Just come get the information that you want whenever you want it. And that's why I said the interactive radar with the East Tennessee Weather app is a great resource, especially for this time of the year as we start to get into the summertime months. All right, here we go. Pigeon Forge is getting rocked right now. Sevierville, you can go to bed. We'll say Kodak and Seymour, you can go to bed. Anybody along 411? West of Sevierville, not east of Sevierville or northeast towards Newport, still getting rocked between Sevierville and Newport. But Gatlinburg, you're going to notice this camera on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. I'm going to take that full here so we can see. There we go. Gatlinburg's starting to lighten up, but you can see the rain really starting to fire away. Don't need that music. So Gatlinburg is getting ready to get rocked. We'll go back to that camera here again in just a moment. So I don't know why I still have Strawberry Plains up there, but we do. That camera's not working, obviously. Elise went to bed. It is 11:18.
I'll just let you know I'm in it for the long haul.
Eli, you could go to bed. You're probably in the clear. You are in the clear, but your camera's showing some great views.
I don't have to go to work till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're good.
You can sleep in all day long, my friend. You can sleep in all day long. Me, not so much. We'll be getting up early in the morning and broadcasting and keeping everyone up to date. National Weather Service continues the severe thunderstorm warning right now for Cocke and Jefferson as well as Sevier County. And that runs right here. That runs until midnight. So for about another 40 minutes or so. And then you can see how these warnings are going to be stretched into North Carolina. We do have severe thunderstorm warning right now for Sevier and Blount, Sevier and Cocke County. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning still for Monroe County and Polk County. And that, my friends, is going to be about the extent of it. But with that said, off to our north and west, let's go back to the National Weather Service and radar in Nashville. We still have a lot more activity upstream. And so you can start to see more severe weather out north Cape Girardeau, Hopkinsville, Clarksville. So we're still going to be watching this. The atmosphere is still primed for severe weather. So let me just show you the big picture here for just a second. By the way, that's what the East Tennessee weather app looks like if you've not seen it yet. But here's what it still looks like. So we'll pick up our timeline here at the current hour. Let me stop this. Let me go really slow here. We're going to go really slow. So it's 11 o'clock. It's 11:20. So it is really doing a fairly good job on picking up on the storms here in East Tennessee and the Southern Valley. Now those storms are coming in out of Kentucky and West Tennessee, Southern Illinois, and Indiana. And so that's going to be round number 3. So watch this. So we're going to go till 1 o'clock in the morning. There's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. There's 4 o'clock in the morning. So you can see how we still have, look at that, still another round of heavy rain and the possibility of strong to severe storms. I may just be sleeping in the studio, Eli. And then heavy rain through the morning rush hour. And then we'll start to see improving conditions throughout the day tomorrow. Likely not to see too much thunderstorm activity as the cold front comes through. But I will tell you what, I'll just give you some relief that this cold front is going to bring us some much, much drier and cooler weather as we head into the upcoming weekend. Tornado watch continues till midnight. It's 11:21. The Storm Prediction Center has now issued a tornado watch until 4 o'clock in the morning over into North Carolina. They've also extended the tornado watch until 4 a.m. Down through Polk County, Bradley County, Hamilton County, Marion County, Sequatchie County, Bledsoe, Ray, Meigs, McMinn, Monroe County, and that would be across Cumberland County. So watch this. I'm going to change something for you. We're going to go exact time. This will highlight who's still going to be under a tornado watch until 4 a.m. Boom. There we go. So we still have a tornado watch until 4 a.m. now. So that has now been extended by the Storm Prediction Center. Kind of missed that. I didn't see the National Weather Service talking about that. So let me change a couple things. Interesting stuff. Interesting, actually. The fact that we have a tornado watch still in effect until 4 a.m. is fascinating to me. But that just lets us know that we have that primed environment. I'll post this to social media here real quick. I'll put the radar back up in a moment. It's not what I want. We're going to do this. Follow along, folks. Follow along. We're going to be talking more about these storms coming through. So that's got a pretty good indication. So there we go. There's 3 a.m. So another round of rain is on the way. A round of storms. All right. Let's do this. I'm just trying to get some screen grabs so I can post this to social media. So folks that may be awake on social media, maybe if you are on social media, you're still joining us on the broadcast.
Mike, I don't know if you just saw that stripe or not, but it's just straight across the whole sky.
I did. That was amazing. Power flickered in Strawberry Plains, Tennessee, near Rush Strong School. Fun time, she says. Thanks, Sage. What's up, Sage? It's a cool. I love being able to see all of your like your Facebook or YouTube pictures. Morristown is not going to be under a tornado watch until 4 o'clock in the morning. Jack Reynolds, Fling, Jackie, I should say. I think it's Jackie. Can you elaborate? Can I explain what? Jackie, can you elaborate on what you're asking? And I'll see it pop up in the chat. It's completely stopped raining at my house in Madisonville, so that makes me wonder what's coming next. Well, I just showed you the future cast, so hopefully you saw that. Jackie, let's see if I can go. So Jackie, if you're still with us, let me know what you're talking about, what you want me to explain. But there is round number 3 is coming through, probably closer to 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So we'll get a few hours of sleep and then we'll be back on. Dan Andrews, 0.8 of an inch of rain during the day, 44 hundredths of an inch tonight, total of 1.25 inches from midnight till 11:15 tonight. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate you. Yup. Ugh. Madisonville's good for now. You didn't go to bed? Where's your camera, Elise? They did. And I missed it because I was too busy talking about storms, but I appreciate you all. Oh, yeah, that's what you're talking about. Can I explain? And I probably would have seen that on my app. But maybe not because well, oh, there it is. I saw it on the East Tennessee weather app. So there you go. Tornado watch until 4 o'clock in the morning, my friends. So we'll go back through the future cast. Once again, to give folks an idea that this is going to be sleepless in Seattle, sleepless in East Tennessee. Ooh, look at the lightning in Hardin Valley. Did you see that? Whew. All right, so here we go. There's 2 o'clock in the morning right there. So storms are going to start entering the Cumberland Plateau again at 2 o'clock in the morning. From 2 to 3, it's going to work its way into the valley from 3 to 4, and it may continue all the way through 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And so with the atmosphere the way it is, looks like we're going to have to keep an eye on those storms. Excuse me, my friends. I've only been up since 4. Just loaded your app. Terry, Frick, Frick. What is that, Terry? Oh, boy, I should have just said Terry. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. Terry, yay. Here, Terry, you ready? Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. All right, let's come back to the bottom of the chat. When's the next round? So, again, between 2 and basically 4 to 6 o'clock in the morning. Sleepless in East Tennessee. I will definitely do that. Kay says, would you mind explaining the difference between a downburst or a tornado? That is what the National Weather Service in Morristown released happened in East Hamblen County in Russellville. 100% can do that. Let's just double check on a couple things before we get there. So we still, let me just do a couple of double takes here and the double checks, and we'll bring that up on the screen there. So we still have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, but most of the energy is moving its way into the mountain counties. Storms are starting to fire back up across Fentress and Scott County, Campbell, and Loudoun County as well. So bear with me because I'm going to have to find this information, but I will 100% give you that information. So a downburst, I've got some cool animation to show you, Kay. Okay, here we go. Here is all the information on a downburst. Watch the screen. So a strong thunderstorm with a strong updraft, right? You get that really strong updraft, which helps push that thunderstorm way up in the atmosphere. Some of the storms today were pushing upwards of 40 to 50,000 feet. Updraft weekends, cold air builds in the middle of the storm. Okay, now you have dense, cold air in the middle of the storm. Well, when something's dense and cold, what do you think it does? What do you think it is? It becomes heavy, right? And gravity takes effect. So strong surge of air from the storm actually comes down to the ground and spreads out. So that is a downburst. Now, I got some cool animations I can show you, my friends. So now let's go to, not that, let's go to this. So here we go. Here's how a tornado forms. So the wind set up, a change in wind direction between the surface and upper levels of the atmosphere. That's called wind shear. Okay, wind's changing speed and direction with height. You need to change its speed and direction, okay? So actually, the wind, as it says, what happens with a tornado is you actually create horizontal rotation, okay? Horizontal rotation, little tube. See how that little tube's spinning? So now you've got this little tube spinning horizontally. But what happens is it gets pulled into an updraft of a thunderstorm. So as it gets lifted into the updraft of the thunderstorm, it flips that rotation vertically, and that's where you get the tornado to form. Now, again, a tornado is actually rotating, that rotating column of air that actually is reaching the surface of the ground, which is different than obviously a let's see if I get my thoughts out here. Than a funnel cloud. All right, so let's talk about this for a moment, okay? How do tornadoes form? Okay, so we're going to go through a couple of different things. This is really cool stuff. All right, so key parts to a supercell displayed on radar, right? We see the classic cooks. You see the hail core. I was talking about the hail core tonight. You get the hail core on the north side of that. You get the debris ball, or you get that the back end of that system. So this is how it all plays out, okay? So what creates a hook echo is you get the heavy rain on the north side of the storm system. You get warm, moist air swinging into that system. Remember, I was drawing. If you were with us earlier, I was drawing those arrows on there, and then you get the cold upper level winds to be pulled back behind it, the rear flank downdraft. And so then you get the hail core just on the north side of that as well. So that's what we're highlighting, the hail core. And then, of course, you can get the leading edge of the storm called a gust front. And so that's really how it all plays out. And so the brighter colors indicate the hail core, extremely heavy precipitation, usually points towards hail. Okay. The other cool stuff about this is so the storm inflow. So you get the warm surface wind getting pulled into the thunderstorm, okay? If you've ever been in a supercell thunderstorm, you can actually feel that air being pulled into the thunderstorm. It's a warm, moist air. On the back side of that, that's where you get the colder air. That's why after, even during normal thunderstorms, the air cools off around us because the air up above us is so much colder. And so that's how it all spins around. So, debris ball. What's a debris ball? We actually had a debris ball showing up in Middle Tennessee earlier today, down by Columbia. They had an incredible debris ball. I don't want to say that like cool, like massive. So debris ball indicates debris being thrown up in the air. This is a good indicator for a tornado. And so when you look at that and all the gust fronts, so I talked about the gust front. Gust fronts are really cool because it looks really ominous. It's those clouds that are kind of rolling over, so you get warm, moist air to kind of push up. So as this thunderstorm moves over, it's like a bulldozer, and the warm, moist air gets pulled up, and it condenses, and it creates this really ominous looking, like roar cloud type of structure that moves towards you. So really cool stuff. So let me show you, because I did take some screen grabs of the storm system out of Middle Tennessee. So, okay, let me show you this. Let's see if I can get this on the screen. Let's come on here. I think it will. Maybe. Let's see if it will. If not, I'm going to have to put it on the other computer. Okay. So give me a second and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so this will explain exactly what we just explained on the screen. I don't think this will move over. Let's see if this moves over. There it is. All right, so there's your gust front, right? There's your gust front and the wall cloud of a tornado. So this was actually earlier today with my friends over at Tennessee Valley Weather. They were broadcasting live on the air. And so what you got is the gust front. Can you see my mouse on this camera, on the screen? You can't see my mouse, can you? I don't think you can really. Anyways, I wish I could show you my mouse. Can you see that? No, you probably can't. All right, anyways, that's the leading edge. Down on the bottom left-hand side, right above that school or that building in the bottom left, that is where the tornado was starting to form. So you got your wall cloud. So then what happens is this. So there is your debris ball. See, remember we talked about that debris ball. So you get your inflow coming in where it says laser or lazia or whatever it is. You can see the hail core. Remember that we were talking about, just showing you the hail core right there towards Lanton. Heaviest rain shield. The rain shield's going to be right there with Bethesda, Bear Wallow, Lively. But right there from Hardinson Mill through Lazia or whatever that name is, that's your inflow. That's that warm, moist air. Your rear flank downdraft is on the back side of that, and your debris ball is just north of that road. I wish I had a pointer to show you guys. Here, let me just point to it. Yeah, right there. Anyways, that's the classic structure of the supercell thunderstorm. And then this is what it looks like on radar. That's why we look inside the storms, okay? That's velocity. So that's winds rotating. That's winds running towards the radar. Green is towards the radar. Red is away from the radar. And so that's what the spin in the atmosphere is. And then what happens is... Where'd it go? Let me get that back up. There we go. There's that tornado in Columbia. My good friend Fred Gossage over there at Tennessee Valley Weather. That is the tornado. Let's see. I think I have another picture of it.
Hey, Mott.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget Ben.
Well, yeah, Ben, I mean, these are the guys. These are the guys that got me started with East Tennessee Weather. These are the guys that really got things going. So look at that bottom right-hand side of your screen. Look at that wedge tornado. That's the wedge tornado coming in out of Columbia. That's it. So that was created.
If you want a real time, sorry.
No, go ahead. What were we saying?
There is a hook echo right over Huntsville, Alabama right now.
So I'll be able to show you that. So I can show you that. Here, I'll show everybody what that looks like. So that came out of Middle Tennessee today. And now we'll go back to the analysis. And again, folks, you can go off to bed if you want. We still have quite a few people joining us here. But the heaviest rain's moved its way on out. Now we're just going to be watching for the rest of it. So now we'll come down to Huntsville. So now we have, this will give us a good indication of what I was just talking about. Which one's better? That one's probably better. Okay, because now I can draw on this. So here's your warm, moist air coming into the storm right there. That's your inflow, okay? Here's your hail core that we were just talking about. There's your hail core. Here's your heavy rain shield. And then here's your rear flank downdraft, okay? And then right in this location right there is where you're going to see the tornado. That's where you would see... let's go to velocity. That's where you see the spin in the atmosphere. So right about that location. And if you look at debris, see if there is a debris ball on there. Let me clear that out so you can actually see. No debris ball on that one. And no debris. Whoa. No debris ball there, but there's your shear product. So again, just the inflow to this storm. Let me pick a different product here. So there's your hook. This is a classic supercell right there out of Huntsville, Alabama. So your inflow's coming in here. It's trying to get more organized to come around here. Your circulation is going to be right here. So if you switch over to the velocity product, and there's your rotation, essentially. So there's so much to be able to be seen with Doppler radar. It's really, really a cool thing. Doppler radar is just amazing. Come back to home.
Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you for all that. I'm sorry. I was geeking out because I was looking at the radar on my iPad. I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I should tell Mike about that. So, I know it's not in our area, but it's pretty fascinating to see in a real-time example how these storms form and how they function and just everything that goes into them because they're so complex.
Oh, 100%. I can't sit down anymore. I have to stand up. Ugh. I have sat down way too long. Please raise the desk. All right. It's so much nicer when you can stand up sometimes and raise the desk. That's why I got a standing desk. All right, let's go back to the chat and see what everyone else is saying on the chat here this morning. Go ahead, Eli.
I was going to say, what about that disco party that we talked about a few severe weather coverages ago?
Yeah, that's right. Are you talking about one of the television stations, Sharon? Oh, it is Jackie. That's like my neighbor. My neighbor spells her name similar to that, or maybe exactly the same way as that. Jackie is her name as well. Ah, Jackie, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I do. You know, and again, I can sit here and talk all night long, and you can come and get the information you want. You can move about your day if you want. This is not scheduled TV, my friends. While I am blowing out commercials, my advertisers know that during severe weather, I am going to blow out commercials. Let's see. How old is this chat? When's it going to die down in Lenore City? It has died down in Lenore City, but we look at all the rain to our northwest. We still have a lot more activity heading our way. So let me come back to. We come back here. Come to the radar in East Tennessee. So we still have a severe thunderstorm warning right now, but in Monroe County, wasn't that you asking? I think I'm getting a little... There we go. See? There's another Jackie. I told you, Jackie, there's another Jackie. Jackie meet Jackie. There's Jackie 1 and there's Jackie 2, spelled the same way. That's why I think that, didn't I say Jackie from the get-go? I think I did. Well, I know you couldn't see my mouse, but hopefully you understood what I was talking about. It got really quiet in chat. Geez, I wonder why. It's like, what is it, 11, almost midnight? That is 100% true. Thank you, Ben. The accuracy of the debris ball detection affected by the distance of the radar. Everything's going to be affected by the distance of the radar because remember, a radar beam is a straight line. It doesn't curve. Well, it can curve a little bit because you can get different things going on in the atmosphere to deflect the beam. There's certain things that can happen with that. Sometimes it can make the rain look like it's heavier than it actually is. In wintertime, you can actually get some deflection and whatnot, so it can make things look a little differently than what actually meets the eye. But the general rule of thumb is, the closer to the radar, the more accurate that radar is going to be, because the further away from the radar it is, the higher the radar beam is. For instance, let's see. For instance, I'll show you. So I won't be able to show you, but so if our Morristown radar Our radar is in Morristown, right? So if I were to go from the Morristown radar to Crossville, let's say to Knoxville, the radar beam from Morristown to downtown Knoxville is going to be 2,200 feet above downtown Knoxville, okay? In Morristown, coming from Morristown, it's going to be way lower to the ground. But if you go all the way to Crossville, now that radar beam is hitting 8,500 feet. And that's why that's Knoxville. So that's why the Cumberland Plateau is so difficult, because then you go to Nashville and you click on the Nashville radar. I'm doing stuff in the background. I'm trying to explain something. You go to the Nashville radar and you go to Crossville. So from Nashville to Crossville, it is also going to be shooting at about 7,500 feet in the air. So actually, the radar beam from Nashville to Crossville is going to hit a little bit lower, but you got to realize that's hitting 7,500 feet. Crossville's right around, 1,300 feet, 1,500 feet, 12 to 1,500 feet or so. So that radar beam is still hitting, what is that? That's like 5,000 feet, almost 5,000 feet, even higher than that. Well, cloud bases are typically right around 5,000 feet, like on a cloudier day. Sometimes when you have low clouds, that's about 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 feet in elevations. And so the radar beam's hitting way up there. It doesn't always see the extremely low levels of the atmosphere. And so with that, like even during winter weather, sometimes the radar beams have a hard time picking up on snow on the plateau because they're in a what do you call it? Where the radars are too far apart. That's one of the biggest pushes across the country is trying to get the National Weather Service, not National NOAA, to install these dead zones across the country. There are miles and miles and miles of dead zones across the country that do get severe weather. That their radar coverage is terrible, and so. I know Cumberland County does have a radar. It's not official, I don't think, with the National Weather Service. I don't have access to it. But I have heard that they do have a radar up there. But again, I don't think it's a very powerful one either. Yeah, you're very welcome, Kay. And I like your photo. Well, at this point of the game, I might as well go back to my Red Bull. They're not sponsoring the show, although at this point of the game, I could just hold that up and they could sponsor us out.
Don't feel bad. I'm running on sweet tea.
Oh, there we go. Sweet tea is always a good thing. What's up, Lily? Is it safe to sleep in Maryville? It's safe to go to bed right now. But make sure you have your push notifications turned on with the East Tennessee Weather app. Make sure your cell phone's turned up so you get any sort of notifications. Friday can't come soon enough, Cody. Anybody down for a meet and greet? I think we're going to hit Taps. We're going to do Taps in Sweetwater next, I think is what we're going to do. I'm going to reach out to them. They said they would be glad to have East Tennessee Weather and all of you to join us at Taps in Sweetwater. Oh, there we go. Caitlin, you could join us at Taps in Sweetwater. Restless resident in Sweetwater. I may have to take a nap as well. I always wonder where people get like their Facebook names and stuff like that. Especially YouTube. YouTube's always got some fun ones. 10 Mile to Sweetwater. Everything is fine so far across. There are no watches and warnings at all in East Tennessee. Let's just throw that out there. But remember, round number 3 comes through in, I don't know why I'm looking at my clock there and I've got a clock on my radar. Round number 3 comes through in about 2 hours. So go take a cat nap or go to sleep. I'll send a push alert if I need to wake you up. Jesse, I'm kind of with you on that one. Are you supposed to wake up early in the morning? Head off to work? See, I'm yawning. Excuse me, folks. Excuse me. Let's see. So Scott, Cody Duncan, he's also a Witcher weather watcher. Why don't you join us on the broadcast tonight, Cody? You got the link, didn't you? Oh, did I not send you the link? Maybe I didn't send you the link. Dead zone, that's it. Neighbor, why don't you come down and say hi? If I'm not sleeping, you ain't sleeping. That's what I'm talking about, Chris. Love it, buddy. Let's just make that big. Found you suggested from Ryan Hall feed. Oh, was it really? East Tennessee weather was suggested through the Ryan Hall feed? Let's put that back up on screen. Say it ain't so. Now that's what I'm talking about. Ah, you're in Northwest Florida. Well, I will tell you, Chris, there are a lot of us that were in the broadcast community, local television, that are looking into doing this. Right now, there are only about 5 of us in the country. There's Northern California. There's Nebraska, although Nebraska, I think, has switched to community TV, although he is a meteorologist and does weather too. There's Southern Middle Tennessee. There's me. There's New Jersey. There's a guy in Mobile, Alabama that's coming aboard. There's a guy in Nashville that's interested, although Southern Middle Tennessee, Tennessee Valley Weather, they're the ones who got me started. Ben over there and the whole crew literally have helped me launch this whole thing, along with my brother-in-law. There's a lot of networking that's going on here, and my brother-in-law works for Apple, and I would not be doing what I'm doing without his help. Literally, I have spent hours and hours and hours on the phone with him, and he's coming back out in a couple weeks because I've literally been pulling my hair out because I feel like every day I go to bed and every day I come back into the studio, there's gremlins in here like chewing on cords or shutting things down or changing things. And every day my wife's like, listen, either my brother has to come back out and help you or we're getting a divorce. Because I have not been the happiest camper to be around because I'm like literally pulling my hair out. There's so much technology. I'll show you. Let's see if I can show you a view. I'll show you a view of the studio. You want to see the studio? It's kind of messy right now, but we'll just go with it. Just bear with me. We'll show you the studio. So, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Oh, well, I raised the desk, so it's not going to be as impressive. There's the studio, my friends. I'll lower the desk for you. My lights, cameras, action, everything goes up, everything comes down. I'll step out of the way. I'll come sit back down for a second, but that's the studio. Don't have a green screen. I have a 100-inch TV screen in here. That's my weather wall. That's where I do all the weather if I'm not doing it from here. So I got a camera up there. We've got cameras that we're installing all over East Tennessee, which, of course, you've seen on the broadcast here tonight. I got some new equipment sitting over here. That's why it's a mess. I've got
So Mike, I have a question.
2 new monitors that are going to pop up over here. Lights are going to come back up. It is going to be a little bit more. Who was that? Chris Green from Florida. It's going to be a little bit more like Ryan Hall's. And he does a great job. But it is. I'm going to have more monitors because I have too many programs going on at the same time that I got to monitor. And originally I was like, okay, I'll be good with this like awesome 49-inch curved monitor. And really, it's not big enough. And to be honest with you, I don't really like the 49-inch anymore. I kind of wish I just had a bunch of square monitors and just had this big wall of all this information, because I've got the National Weather Service chat over here. I've got radar scope when I'm doing other things, so I can just keep an eye on other stories and other parts of East Tennessee. What else do I have going on? I've got my Barron weather computer. I've got my text messaging going on down here. I've got another laptop over here doing a bunch of stuff. And then up here in the corner is where I kind of run the channel. And these two TVs are kind of running the channel. And so that's the broadcast. And now it's getting cold in here again. Yes, go ahead, Eli.
So my question for you is, do you prefer a green screen or do you prefer the monitor? I'm assuming you would prefer the monitor.
No, the monitor, hands down. Plus, the kids and I can come in here, and the wife too, but the kids really too. We can come watch movies in here.
Oh yeah, I bet that works out better. I remember I was at a local TV station not too long ago, and I tried the green screen, and I could not get it down.
No, it's a little more complicated, but
then they make it look. I mean, it's tough.
Oh man. It is tough, but no, it allows me to do more things, because a green screen, you can't, it's a green screen. That's all you can do with it. And so it allows me to do more things, except I need to get a new one of these things because this thing's awful. It allows me to do more things down the road. Like I can do interviews on there. Green screen, you're just a green screen. You can't do much. But that I can do other things. Like I could actually put something in there right now. If I wanted to call the National Weather Service and get them up, I could have them there. We could chit chat or do all these other things. So it's kind of what we do. But yeah.
Pretty fascinating how you have that all set up there and how you're able to do it just by yourself. I don't know how you do it, but you do it.
I'm barely doing it every single day. Matthew Hickman says, Mike, you said the clouds are about 5,000 to 6,000 feet in the air typically. Does that mean that is how tall a tornado is? That doesn't seem right for some reason. Help me understand, please. Interested. Great question, Matthew. Actually, you know what? The clouds typically lower during tornadoes. So there's the thing called lifted condensation level. It's called the LCL. Okay, and there's a lot of elements that go on to into tornado genesis. Okay, how tornadoes form. But one of the things that we look at is the LCL. So no, typically they would be lower than 5,000 feet. I'm talking about 5,000 feet would typically be like when you see fair weather cumulus clouds. Those are typically around 4 to 6,000 feet or so. But it's kind of wherever we can get that atmosphere. And the thing is too, is the cloud deck's going to be lower too during tornadoes because you have warm, humid air that's condensing. Right? Oh, I just saw that lightning there in Church Hill there. So, you get that warm air condensing, and so the LCL comes down, and that's a good indication that tornado genesis could actually happen when we are talking about tornadoes. But on a typical day, when I talk about, you'll hear me on the broadcast every once in a while, I'll talk about fair weather cumulus clouds. The mountains our mountains are what, 5,000 to 6,000 feet, and so sometimes when we get those clouds that are about 5,000 to 6,000 feet, the tops of the Smokies may be obscured in the clouds, or maybe just slightly above. So generally speaking, about 4 to 6, but I think during tornadoes, the cloud deck's going to be much lower than that. So great question, though. Did I answer it, Matthew? Hopefully, I answered it. Well, I appreciate you, Destiny. I suppose it is, Sage. Is this the Up All Night Crew? At this point of the game, might as well. Now, Kimberly, it is not. What is it, like a 2-hour drive for you, probably? We're trying to get that set up. Julie has been a huge help. Julie's a Witcher Weather Watcher, and she came to the first meet and greet at Orange Hat Brewing, and she is just a huge proponent of East Tennessee weather, and she's just trying her best to help me out, and she's amazing. She's making phone calls for me. I can't thank her enough for everything that she's done for me. Oh, that's a great question. I can't tell you that. That's my secret, Chelsea. It's a program I'm using. So everything I run is all Mac-based, except for my weather computer. My weather computer is all PC. Everything else you see in the studio is all Mac-based because my brother-in-law works for Apple. And so Apple works better than PCs. I wish they made a weather computer that was actually PC-driven or Apple-driven, not PC. Oh, you never got the link? Okay, hold on, Cody. Hold on. But it's a program called Ecamm Live. And so I can run, I mean, it's great. I was using a program called OBS for a while, over the broadcast software or something like that. Oh, look at that lightning in Churchill. But I was having issues with it. It was dumping out on me all the time. And it's really more made for a PC than it is for a Mac. So Ecamm Live is actually great. So go ahead and search that up. So that's what I'm using right now. So it's you know how Macs are really easy to do certain things versus a PC. This program, I mean, just like me being able to come over here on one computer, I click on an image, I can literally drag and drop it onto the photo. There you go, done. Like with a PC, you'd have to like save it and do all these other things, and it just wouldn't work so well. So it makes things really, really easy to use. All right, Cody. Let's see, Cody. Cody, I'm going to send you this link here in just a moment. You know what's funny? Is my sound off on Facebook? Who's joining from Facebook? You all are joining me from Facebook. Yeah, a lot of Facebook people. Anyways, I looked at my cell phone. I was like, wait, everything's saying from yesterday. What are you talking about? There we go. No, Cody, I'm looking for that link, bud. And I'll send it to you. And if you'd like to, I don't know if you're laying in bed right now, but if you'd like to tune in, you're more than welcome to. We can show what it looks like. Well, I mean, Eli's been on the program already, so we've already kind of shown you that. But that's the other cool thing is I can actually have up to 10 people join me on the program. I shouldn't be telling all my secrets. The local TV stations are watching probably, and they're like, uh-oh. I've seen them copying me.
I was going to warn you.
I've seen some copying going on around town. They're watching.
Oh yeah.
They're watching. I know they're watching.
Oh yeah.
They'd be silly not to watch. But I've seen a lot of things going on some of the local broadcasters, or local television stations. There you go, Cody. That they were not doing prior to East Tennessee weather. So I guess, what is it? Copying is the best form of flattery or something like that, whatever the saying goes, however the saying goes.
Imitation is the best form of flattery.
Imitation is the best form of flattery. So I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, I mean, what you've done, Mike, is a game changer for all of East Tennessee.
Well, I appreciate it.
I mean, you have completely changed the game and how weather is covered.
Well, once people start figuring out where I am, there's so many people thought I was going to go, that I opened up a brewery. There's people thought that I went to go fly airplanes. And there's people that thought I retired. I was like, man, trust me, if I could retire tomorrow, I would. But I ain't got no money. Yes, you are. That's right, Jesse, you are a Witcher Weather Watcher. Did you get the link? If you did not get the link, send me a message. Because I'm not quite sure I have your phone number. Or maybe you didn't even give me your phone number. Oh, that's so awesome. Bluff City Cinema. I was recommended from the Ryan Halls. Also, Bristol here. Nice. This is awesome.
Tri-Cities in the house.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
That is right. You know, and Ryan Hall does a great job. I mean, listen, I want to emulate a little bit what he does. I love what he does. I think he does a great job. But he does national weather. And he only does the storms and the big picture and the synoptic scale and stuff like that. I just want to cover East Tennessee. That's all I want to do. I don't want to cover the country. But I also, you know, and that's okay. But that's awesome that that you're seeing this stuff. I don't know if I put that up. Maybe I did put that up. That you're seeing this stuff from the Ryan Hall feed. That is amazing.
I will say, I do remember when you were covering the country. And I remember the first time I saw you on there, I'm like, it's that guy from Knoxville. He's on national TV now. I bet he's...
You muted yourself.
Sorry. I'm still learning this thing. But what I was saying was, I remember when you first hit national TV, I'm like, it's that guy from Knoxville. Because I was probably 10 or 11 at the time.
Oh, when I went to Weather Nation?
And, yeah. That's it. I've gave you some of my videos and stuff before, too, that I've taken. And that was after you left. But I remember, I'm like, that's the guy from WBR? Sorry, I didn't say that. Pretend I didn't say that.
I went and worked for Weather Nation for like 3 years.
Yeah, I remember you on there. I mean, it was cool, but I'm just glad you're back.
I am glad to be back as well. So to answer your question, Hunter Casto, no. Is Blount County out of the tornado watch now? I'm sorry, yes. Blount County is out of the tornado watch. Did they just shrink that back again? No, they did not. So Blount County is not in a tornado watch, but you're right next to Monroe County, and Monroe County is under a tornado watch. So something to think about and keep in mind as we head off to bed tonight. Got another fella. Well, we got somebody else from Churchill joining us. We're all mad here. So hopefully I answered their question there, Hunter. Jackie says, wow, that's quite a setup. Don't know how you do it, but you've done a great job. Thank you very much. Keeping it up tonight. I'm loving the extra weather lesson moments. I've always been fascinated and interested in weather, so loving this. Calling it a night here in Madisonville. Again, great job. And I'll be back up for sure. Jackie, have a great night. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Let's see. Do you think the storms earlier in the day for the far east Tennessee is the reason for less severe the same region tonight? Yes. It ate up the atmosphere. It cooled it down. It stabilized the atmosphere. The cool air stabilized the atmosphere. I had the clouds in longer because we saw some sunshine across the southern valley. As we got into the early afternoon, it actually became sunny, warm, and muggy. Dew points were in the 60s and 70s. And so you have to have high dew points to get tornadoes and severe weather. No, Abigail, it's on the screen right now. It was set for midnight. They extended it until 4 o'clock in the morning for the counties on your screen. Yikes. I don't know why my wife is still up.
So, Mike, the tornado watch for southeastern Tennessee has been extended until 4?
Hold on, my wife just texted me. Oh. One of the scenes isn't set right, so I must have changed a scene, and that's why you lost my audio. That makes sense. I did change a scene recently, didn't I? What scene did I change it to? See, there's so much technical stuff going on here. I'm trying to figure it out along the way. I look at downtown Gatlinburg's lighting up. Jesse, you did not get the link? Well, did you email me? Shoot me a quick message, mike@easteenweather.com. We got another spotter trainer wanted to do. Another gentleman wanted to join the Witcher's Weather Watchers. It's great. Got another one for Witcher Weather Watcher. That's great. Look at this. It's great. Let's see here.
Hey, sorry to bother you.
No, you're not. We're just hanging out
You
now.
want to give an example of a B-word? There's a tornado emergency in northwestern Alabama right now, and it's got a textbook Boundary Echo region on it.
And what?
Donut hole in the hook.
Mm.
It's going to be the one right there in the center of your screen, right above 14.
There's your donut. There's your debris ball. We were talking about debris balls. So let's see how. Now, sometimes these get lagged behind. But let's go to the radar. Yep, see the debris ball is going to be a little bit behind. There's your shear product. There it is. Boy, there's your hook. Or there's your there's your tornado. Wow. I mean, we knew the atmosphere was primed. There's your classic storm right there. Classic. This is not here, by the way, folks. This is not here. This is in Alabama. There's your inflow. There's your rear flank. There's your tornado. Here's your hail core. Here's just the rain shield. Woo! These are cold winds coming on down the backside of that. Cold air. This is warm, moist air going into the storm. Warm, moist air. You know, we don't get those kind of hooks very often around East Tennessee. This one's also, let's see what this one's doing.
That one looks like it might have become outflow dominant from what I'm looking at on here. I don't know if that's what you're seeing or not, but
Here, I was going to see where the radar beam is. So this is that shear product that I have available to me with the let me take off lightning and stuff. With the Barron Weather computer, this is the a special product. This one's stronger for sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to geek out on you.
No,
Now you know not to have me on anymore. I'm going to start. I'm going to start geeking out.
Well, I don't mind. I mean, it's the middle of the night. What else are we gonna do? I'm just gonna sit here and talk to myself
and
everybody else that's on here, but they're not joining me.
No. Become Witcher Weather Watchers, people. Come on. Believe it or not, it is 12:14 at night, and there is traffic on 11W right now.
All right, Jesse, I'm going to send you the link right now. And if you'd like to come in and join us on the broadcast and say hi, then I would appreciate that. Copied. Of course, it's not going to go over to this computer. There it is. There you go, Jesse. I just sent it to you. There you go. I got you. I got you, boo. Just kidding. I don't even know you. I just called you boo. Sorry. Maybe losing my mind.
You've not had too much. Oh, wow. Did you see that?
Misty says, I am working nights in Powell at the independent care facility. I was just wondering if we still have more coming this way. We do. We have a lot more. So let me, I don't know who's new on here. Yes, you do. So I can put the link back in the chat. I've put it in several times, but you'd have to scroll through a long ways to find it again. So Odinite. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. So if you're interested in becoming a Skywarn storm spotter with the National Weather Service, at which point you can then in turn become a Witcher Weather Watcher, that is the link right there. You could just copy it right there if you want, or just go to the chat. You're joining on YouTube. You should have gotten that on YouTube because I believe it goes to YouTube as well. But that's the link. Just click on that link. Take the course. Once you're done taking the course, send me your certificate from the National Weather Service saying that you've completed the course to mike@easttnweather.com. I'll put that in the chat as well. I'll put my email in there. I need to get a different email created. Let's see. Mike@east. TN Weather. I can't type tonight. There you go. Send me that. Send it to me there. Once you get your certificate, and when you send it, make sure you send your phone number, and then I will send you a link, like I just sent Jesse. And all she has to do is click on that link, type in her name, and I will get this little interview thing to go, and it rings. And I see, and I look over, you sit in the green room. You can watch the broadcast from the green room, and then I can pull you right into the broadcast, just like Eli is. Pretty cool stuff.
There's all sorts of great refreshments in the green room, too, courtesy of your own personal refrigerator.
You wish. You wish.
Full of Red Bulls.
Okay, so Misty, I was going to answer Misty's question. I apologize, Misty. I got sidetracked. Okay, let's see. Just wondering if we will be more coming our way tonight. So, okay, as you can clearly see on the screen, we do have a tornado watch until 4 o'clock in the morning. It's 12:18. And what's going to be happening, I'll show you the big picture first. This is what's coming our way. Let me slow that way down. Whoa. Let me slow that down, way down. That might be too slow, but we'll go for it. There you go. That's what's coming our way tonight. That is still what we have left to come our way tonight. And that's why we have the tornado watch that's been extended until 4 o'clock in the morning. And local view here. So again, the tornado watch